Listen, there's no telling where we're going to end up then, because if you don't know where we're going, I
Yeah.
don't know where we're going.
I love it.
Stay strong.
I freaking love it.
Concrete in the dirt I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, you know it's game on. My skin is thick, yeah, it's tough. Running, yeah, we stay. Ain't gotta look nowhere else. All of this greatness inside.
Ooh, man, David. Episode 32?
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes, episode 32 with Mr. Nathan Dowd. Hey. Oh, I should turn that off. That's me. Feeding with Feelings. That's my title. Because it's more than just food. And we're going to get into that a little bit. So Nathan Dowd was local, Clay County, your whole life? Okay.
Born and raised here. Went to college in South Carolina. Spent some time in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
But here I am
Skier?
back home.
You do any skiing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Was
You
it on
live
your
in Colorado. Of course you ski.
Well, I'm just wondering, was it on the butt
Yeah,
or
why
was it
else
on the
did you
ski?
go out there?
Well, the snow bunnies.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't ski very well, but I could sit down at the lodge and look like I skied. That's all I can.
Right. Yeah, I did some ski. I learned to ski out there.
Yeah.
I haven't skied anywhere else. I don't really want to go
Utah. I went out to call my mother-in-law, and her husband lived out in outside of Denver forever, and then they moved out to Greeley, and so they out in Colorado. But I went out to Utah, and once I started skiing out in Utah, the powder is so much cleaner.
Yes.
It's really nice.
Yeah, you guys got that up in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We got snow in the morning, then it melted. And then it was ice.
Yeah,
Slush.
slush.
Yeah.
Are you
Slush.
okay? No, he's not, but he's from New Jersey, and yet he loves Walt Disney World probably more than me and you both combined. He sings. He sits in the back finishing and sings Walt Disney World songs.
I promise you, he loves it more than I do.
Yeah, see,
With that, I grew up here. I got enough of
Thank
that.
you. Okay.
We're done with that.
they go like 5-6 times a year as a family. They've been doing a week.
I
Yeah.
was like, I'll do it.
He would. Well, his nephew went to college and then
Yeah,
now
he's
runs
a supervisor now.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but see, Floridians, Orlando, it's like okay.
I used to go for two weeks a year when I lived in New Jersey.
Yeah, no. Now, you also, before this, you were, 17, 18 years in the school board as well as a teacher? 19 years.
19. So I was 17 as a full-time classroom teacher.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 years, I did what's called 0.6, which is 3 days a week.
Really?
I could set my schedule, but once I set it at the beginning of the year, it was the same 3 days.
Now, do they
the
do
semester.
that? Do they do that only for like senior teachers? Because I've actually been interested. No, just like a couple years of veteran. Yeah, I'm calling you old. So, I mean, do they do that for like newbies can come in and do a part 6?
No, we were doing. I don't remember how I got to doing the part 0.6.
Point 6, sorry.
Yeah, because it's like 60% of the week, so
Right.
they call it 0.6. So I don't remember how I moved
Because that interests me.
to that, but I was already doing some other stuff, so I needed that extra time anyway, and it just worked.
Yeah.
It just worked. So and that was probably it was my exit strategy and probably somebody else's exit strategy for me as well.
Did you have a vision? I mean, about like the heart. The name of the company is The Father's Heart.
Yes,
Is that correct? And then there's a secondary company underneath that.
sort of. It's yes.
It's like the mother company to it.
So the Father's Heart we're a nonprofit. You know
Right.
that, right?
I do, but make sure they know. So, tell them a little bit about. We got a long time, so tell them a little bit about.
We deliver about 6,000 meals every month in Clay and Duval County. We service between 140 and 150 families every month.
Wow, same families or just a variety?
Same families, and there's a reason for that.
Yep.
But we started this. I say we. You know, there's only one we, and that's me. But I got some good volunteers, good help now.
But hang on, stop for a second. Where did the idea come from? Because God lays things on our hearts, and who was there? Where were you?
So we'd have to go back.
That's what I want.
We had to go back to last century.
That's
Talk
what I
about
want.
Being old, man.
That's what I
don't
want.
know.
Last century.
Last
That sounds
century.
crazy.
It does, but we've all been there, haven't we?
Absolutely.
We've all been in the last century.
yeah.
Come on now.
Some of it I don't remember.
Well, me either. Me either. So I was going to a church then that was doing the same kind of thing.
Right.
And then we left that church not for any problems or whatever.
Sure.
It was just time to move, and we started doing Thanksgiving outreach. Right. So the first year we did 27 families, I think, and then the next year we did 42, and then we talked to our pastor, and it went from 42 to 100 to 200 to 350.
Just blah, blah, blah.
Just boom, 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 because he started talking to other churches, and we got some other churches involved. And so right now, we still do it. We started that in 2008.
Wow.
So we still do it. And
For Thanksgiving.
But we've kind of settled out at 300 families for a couple of reasons. One, I don't take credit for any of this part of it at all, but other churches and agencies in the county got the same idea.
Right.
So what's happening is we're drawing from one pool of families because they're all going to the school board to get their families.
So you're able to take 300 and they take a few?
Well, there's only so many people in a pool.
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
So whenever because what we would do is we would say, all right, we're coming to Brett's Assembly of God
Right.
Church, First Church of Brett, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That would be an interesting
Right.
place.
That would be-
I get
That
the
would
feeling
be-
that
there
would
would
be.
there would be cussing behind the pulpit, but God would be there. I'll let them figure that out.
Yeah, we can talk about that off
Yeah.
camera a little bit.
Oh, we do it on camera
I got
too.
some-
Not you, but
I said I got
Yeah.
some stories, but I don't want to throw
people
anybody under
don't.
the
But I
bus.
will stop for a second. People, I did too. I grew up legalistic.
Yeah.
I'm not against rules and regulations to help me guide
Right.
and live, but that hellfire and brimstone and giving because I lovingly wanted to just didn't. Thank you. They give me money.
Nice.
You can make money on this. And
Outstanding.
yeah, you need to start doing it on your organization. This is TikTok
Sound
Live.
like a slot
The
machine.
fathersheart.us, there's a donate button.
thefathersheart.us. I'll put it on the link as well. But thefathersheart.us, there's a place to donate. Y'all go drop $1 for him.
Not that I want to talk all about
I
money early
do.
in this, but
I do.
We will get to all that.
Yeah.
So
But listen, money does matter. It does make a
you have
difference.
to it doesn't
But
just
I
make
want
a
to circle back
difference.
around because this almost killed me. This, and I'm not saying that I couldn't have got through it. All the message was there in the churches.
Sure.
The Bible is the Bible, and it had the message for me. I just I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And I went on my way and lived my life and became I do it all the time and became a drunk and still functioning. Ran a great business, but there was chaos in my life.
Sure.
And
Been there.
it wasn't
Been
until
there, done that.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got with a little 5'5" dude. God didn't give me some fancy businessman. He was a window washer.
Yeah.
And he was a West Side boy. And he'd walk me around. I'm sitting here 305 pounds looking a year a day in prison. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me because I'm so good at everything else and I'm chaotic in this
Your
world.
personal life's a wreck.
Absolute mess. And no one knew, obviously, because we're really good. I was really good at what I did. Okay, right. I didn't want to say we, but it looks like you're me. And all the men that I'm around are the same way. And it was when they started teaching me that he asked me one question. He said, Brett, when your kid's mad, do you just throw them away and you're done with them?
Right.
I was like, no. He goes, neither does your father.
When they do something stupid.
Yeah. What if he yells at you and he's mad? He goes, no. And it was Matt Blythe. He wrote a book. He used to fly for the Tebows into the Philippines. And he was a missionary and he bought a furniture store for me and we got to know each other really well. And he told me, he said, Brett, God can handle your anger. And that,
absolutely.
well, I didn't know that. I didn't dare talk to him angry because there was a lightning bolt coming.
And check this out. Whenever you're talking to him and you're angry and you act like you're not, you're lying to him.
You're lying.
Like
right.
he don't know.
Right. What an idiot I
We're
am.
not talking about me and you.
No.
We're talking about him.
So I lost everything. I lost everything at 44 due to no fault of my own. A corporation went away, and I was not considered an honored debtor. And I came from a custodian, a digging ditches. I didn't come from that. I'm like, I remember when I got to my house at Fleming Island. I still lived below my means, but it was a nice house. I remember sitting in the driveway, and I was a smart ass. I said, "Okay, now what you gonna do?"
Right.
He gave me roofing, and I exploded.
Yeah.
And it bought this building.
Nice.
And so I the point of all that is not financial success and not financial because it's not always financial.
Sure.
It's a peace no matter where I am.
Yes.
And that's what you bring to people with food. I mean, you can preach all day, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Did I say that to you before?
No, sir.
I say that all the time.
I say it all, David.
All the time.
I say that all the time. All the time.
Kindred spirit.
All the time.
You can talk all day long. I went to First Baptist downtown, loved them. I loved our pastors down there, and then other pastors came in, and they knew a lot, and they knew the Bible, but it was obvious they didn't care about me, so I moved on.
So I grew up in that same stuff.
Yeah.
I'm an AG boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Simply a God
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
For people who don't know what an AG boy is.
Oh yeah.
That's an old term.
I can tell by your voice you're an AG boy.
So,
That's speaking in tongues and everything.
yeah, snake handling almost.
Yeah.
Almost. We're half a step away from that. So anyway, I grew up in all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Just like you're saying.
Yeah.
And there was, you're looking over your shoulder thinking, when am I done? When's
Yep.
he gonna, because I had a thought.
Yep. Or I didn't get my money lovingly.
Like nobody don't have a thought.
Right.
Like, people don't have a thought. We're
Right.
still walking around, right? And so, growing up in that,
Give you a bad taste?
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
somewhat. I mean, whenever.
So how'd you stay in it from there?
So, all right, let's back up a little
Yeah.
bit here. Let's get back to 2008 when we started this thing.
Yes.
So it grew to that, and then whenever we started it in 2008, I knew we were going to do monthly stuff, right? So that's where we got into all of that. Now, I have never been. I know it's be hard to believe. I have never been a traditional
No.
church kind of guy.
Yeah.
Cha-ching. I love that.
I know.
I need to get a cha-ching on my
Oh yeah.
phone.
No, I
just
mean
'cause.
they'll give $5, $10, $15, $20 at a pop. I do 3 a day.
Nice. So anyway, I've never been that guy. The square peg round hole thing. I mean,
Yep.
I understood church. I was in it and have a problem with it, but I'm not the guy that's
Yeah.
never
No.
been me, right?
And why are you walking out the drunk when he comes in downtown yelling? Isn't he the guy that's supposed to be in the church? That kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know Tony Benedict?
I don't.
Okay.
Not by name.
Yeah, you'll know. He has his nose goes sideways. He's a believer. He feeds homeless. I'll get y'all introduced.
Yeah.
Powerful guy.
So, well, we started feeding the homeless. Man, we got so much to do. I started,
Keep going.
Homeless is where I started. Homeless
Really?
street is where I started. When I lived in Colorado, I worked at a non-medical detox.
Right.
Now, you want to see some stuff. This was like one of only 2 left in the
Where
country.
they're detoxing cold turkey.
Bro, you want to see some weird stuff?
Oh, I was in rehab because I was looking at jail. So my attorney got me in rehab. I saw just the normal with all the pills. I can't imagine.
No, cold turkey. Alcohol's the worst.
The worst. It'll kill you.
Cold
Alcohol
turkey.
will kill you if you come off of it. Be careful.
Alcohol and Xanax.
Alcohol and Xanax are the 2 that'll kill you. How did y'all handle that without any kind of chemicals?
So whenever, and it was mostly alcohol, but
Yeah.
we had other stuff. So if they started having seizures or whatever
Yep.
that was bad, we would call 911. They'd
Yep.
come get them and take them, right?
I've seen that. My roommate, day 3, this is when I knew it was serious because I didn't wake up needing alcohol. I was a binge drinker.
Yeah.
So we go out. I went 3.5 years without alcohol because my first DUI, somebody says, "You think you might be an alcoholic?" And I'm a church going guy. And I went home to my then wife and I was like, well, if I was a drunk, I can't set it down. That's the way I thought. So I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it down for 3.5 years.
Right.
And then when I picked it up, it was Katie barred the door again.
Yep. So not being a traditional kind of guy and all that, I just never saw that fit. Now here's an AG boy
Yep.
who didn't fit that mold.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
I went to a Southern Baptist school or college
Locally?
in Charleston, South
Oh,
Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina.
How much crazier does that get? You talk about the middle of all of that.
I'm from North Carolina, so I know
Right.
well. Yeah.
So it just never fit. I thought
Yeah.
different than they did. I remember being at
Like when you were speaking in tongues, you sort of knew it just.
Oh yeah, boy, I had a good time at
Yeah.
Baptist College speaking
Oh,
in
yeah.
tongues.
Oh, yeah. That's fun, ain't
Oh,
it?
it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a good time. I had a good time with that. But I remember being at the skating rink on a Christian skate night, right?
Yeah.
And this kid's there, and he's all fussing about, I can't believe all they're going to play is Christian. Blah, 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 blah. And at this point, I walked away from the Lord,
Yeah.
right? And I'd come back.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there with a bunch of my friends who never walked away, who didn't think like I thought in
Yep.
general. My brain approach to
Yep.
this has been different from day one.
100.
And so I turn around, look at the kid. I'm like, listen, bro, if you don't like it, you can just go home or shut your mouth. And all my friends were like, wait, what did you just say? And he shut up. He didn't say anything else the rest of the night.
Right.
Right. But, I don't feel like there was anything really wrong in that. Right.
Yep.
So not fitting the mold.
Jesus wasn't a sissy.
No.
He
he
was-
was
he was a badass.
not. He was. I was just talking about that this morning. And that sometimes,
He tossing people, grabbing whips and smacking the. You think he hit him lightly?
that's what we talked about this
You
morning.
think he hit him lightly? He was a carpenter in the
Right.
old day. You think he couldn't snatch a man out of there at 33 years old in his prime? He tossed them old men.
Well, check this out. Nowhere in those passages does he say he was angry.
Exactly.
He wasn't even mad about
No.
it. He's just, you're done.
You're
out.
done. You're out.
Or check this one out. Whenever he pissed off the Pharisees, right?
He loved picking at them.
He did. They took him to the edge of the cliff to throw him off.
Yep.
When they got to the cliff, it says he passed back through him. I'm thinking, how long did you let them carry you before you went, not today, fellas.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Messing with
Thanks
them.
for the ride. I
Exactly.
appreciate it. I mean, come on, And people, I don't.
And but then they forget and they try to catch him again.
Yeah.
This man just walked through you.
When you were angry mob,
Yeah,
at him, right?
I would have been like, hey,
Right.
I'd be
This is a-
sitting in the
this is a
back,
bad man
bad
right
boy.
here. Yeah.
I'd have been the man trying to touch his hem.
Right. And so, a lot of people don't look at it that way. They
Yep.
go, oh, that's what does it say? That's what
Yep.
it's not. You know what I mean?
Go
It's-
look at Elijah in the Old Testament when they did all the thing. He goes, "Why don't you cry a little louder? Maybe your God can't hear you." He's poking at them, and they cut themselves.
Maybe he's taking a dump.
That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was.
That's exactly what he said. He said maybe they're going to the restroom.
And if you look at the Greek, or the Hebrew, it probably says skubalon.
Does it?
Probably.
Okay.
You know what skubalon
No, I
means?
don't.
It means shit. If you read Paul,
Yes.
where it says, I count it all as rubbish.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they clean that up. When they translate it, they
count
clean
all
that
his shit.
When it's in Greek, it says, I count it all as skubalon.
Holy
And that's
mackerel.
exactly what that translation.
So Paul
translated was.
cussed.
Oh my God, dude! He was a tent maker.
Thank-
Listen, he was
a tent maker, thank
Come
you.
on, he was hanging with. Now, granted, he wasn't Peter. Don't get
Right.
me wrong, he wasn't Peter because he was educated. He did all these other kinds
Right.
of things, but he was down and dirty with them.
Let me ask you something. Thorn in the flesh. What do you think it is? Homosexuality.
I don't think that's what it was for Paul. I think it may,
Could it have been mental torment of all the men and women he killed before he converted?
I think it was some. I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought about it a whole lot.
It's
but
interesting. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. 'Cause-
I think it could have been he didn't have a wife.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I think it probably was.
There's something there when a man does not have a woman in his life.
Well,
Unsettled, is that the right
we
word?
weren't created to be alone.
Not to be alone.
Some of us were, not me. I'm just gonna tell you,
I was not created to be alone.
was not.
I do not do well alone.
I do not.
Oh, I mean, I'll do well. I mean, I'll get out in the world. I'll get out in the world, but at
That's
the
not
end
what you do.
result,
Yeah.
the alcohol. For me, alcohol was but a symptom. It'll start.
It's always.
It starts with selfishness and self-centeredness, and from there, somewhere along the way, that drink's coming back in my hand,
Right.
and I don't know how many I'm gonna have.
Right.
So I have to stay away from a lot just to even get out of that.
Sure.
It's important to me. Thank you for the reminder. All right, so back on you.
What were we
So
talking
I bounce
Which part?
around.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I love it. So you were talking about.
You poor people watching this are gonna be the end of this. You're gonna be like, "What did they just say?" And we're all gonna be like, "I don't know."
Oh no! When you go back and watch it, Catherine did this. Watch how it just flows.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, sure.
really weird. You'll think like that was chopped up. I'll go home going, man, that was not a good interview on my part. And then I go watch it, and God just sort of gets in there, and I don't know how he does it, but he makes it really good. So we were talking about Paul and the thorn in the flesh, but it was more about the weaknesses of what we do, trying to get to where we're trying to go. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
Like you have a path that you're trying to get to, and you were leaving AG and getting more into the
Yeah.
mainstream of wherever you were heading.
Yeah, and because I never thought the way they, and I still don't.
So what is that
still
way
don't.
you think? Well, I mean, when you
Well,
can you put it in a sentence or two?
Yeah. Yeah, people go, well, you shouldn't have a tattoo because that's not biblical. Okay, Jesus has tattoos. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that whole. I think there's a lot of when I say religion, I'm
Yep.
talking about a mindset.
Yep.
Okay, that we as a society or whatever, denomination, religion, have been trained in that. Well, that's not what he said. That's not what he meant.
And they argue and argue.
Okay, but what does it say?
Right. Read the
Right.
black words on the white pages.
Yes, and where it says you shouldn't mark your body in a permanent way, right? People go, well, that says you shouldn't have a tattoo. Okay, so read the rest of that. It says men aren't supposed to cut their bangs either. No, thank you.
Yeah. I'm coming
What
here.
are we doing here?
Right. Legalism.
Right, legalism and what I call religion in
Yep.
that that put pain, and I just never, my brain could never wrap around that kind of stuff.
Was it spirituality that you really grabbed?
Yeah, Yeah.
Because I don't use the word Christian much. It's been bastardized so bad. My son handed me something. He's a strong believer, is Christ follower. And I know it's been used many times, and I love that. I'm a Christ follower, you know.
Well, being a Christian is a lifestyle. You make a choice to make a lifestyle. That's not a relationship.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right? There's a difference. I mean, I've heard people go, well, that's not the Christian thing to do. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I like that.
You know? Our pastor will say something. People will say stuff like that, and our pastor goes, these people are too dumb to talk to.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Do you find that like in my world, there's nobody too stupid, but there are so many that are so smart. They're too smart for any kind of growth.
Yes.
Because I got it figured out.
Yes.
Satan's greatest tools
Yes.
is I, me, not we.
Yeah.
If he can isolate me,
Right.
then he gets to whisper. And what I didn't realize is Satan can talk just like God.
Yeah.
And the other thing I didn't realize is Satan owns the fence line.
Yeah.
So when I'm walking on the fence line, God's not even there. He's literally, his grass is there, but that fence, that's Satan's.
He owns the fence.
And he's
I like
cracking
that.
up.
I'm
I
gonna
think,
steal that.
yeah, I stole it.
Yeah.
Nothing I say is original. It came from old timers. I went fishing 2 days ago with an 81-year-old man who was a pro bass fisherman. And say it, Dave. Go
You
ahead.
got me in trouble with that, by the way.
Why?
Because when it was his birthday, I said, "How old are you?" He said, 69. I said, "Yeah." Brett told me you're 81. He's like, "No, I'm 69."
Is he really 69?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I always think he's 80.
Yeah, because I thought he was older.
Well, he was a
looked
bike-
at me weird, and I was like, "Sorry, I didn't know."
He was a biker. In my world, he saved my life. I just follow him. I look at his lips. Whatever he says, like we went fishing and I dropped my glasses. And here's this pro bass guy, and I'm bending down to get my glasses, and in the water I go. I got my rod. I'm handing, yeah, of course. And he says less, but when he spits wisdom. Nice. So I need men like that in my life.
We all do.
Yeah.
Did you really fall in?
Huh?
You really fall in?
100%. I was soaked. It felt so good. We were down in Ocala at one of the lakes. It felt so good. Yeah. And he outfished me too. I don't mind saying it. He's a pro. I mean, whatever. But besides, he was running the front end and he was putting himself where he wanted to be.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm throwing in the weeds.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, you know.
That's by design.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
He had 9 rods. I had 2.
Right.
And after I fell, one of them had broke. And so it wasn't running all that. So I'm like fishing on one end, nesting it. I didn't tell him though. I just kept fishing. So 2008, you begin to have, I mean, you knew where you were heading.
I did. A lot, and a lot of that came out of what we had started in the other. We didn't start it, but what the other church that I was in was doing. And then I'm sitting in my classroom. Kids coming in on Friday don't know what they're eating for the weekend. They don't know where the food's coming from.
And you were in Clay County?
I was in Clay County, Wilkinson Junior High School.
Wow, Wilkinson.
And yeah, I mean, and I was there for 13 years. So this was, like I said, 2008. It's a little different than it is now, but not a lot.
No, and you wouldn't think it though, even then. I mean, I know Wilkinson isn't the nicest, but
let me take you some places in the county, bro.
Yeah.
I can show you some stuff that you'll be like, people live in that?
Yeah.
So, kids coming in, not having food. I had a kid come in February. It's not New Jersey cold here.
Right.
But
it gets cold.
It gets cold.
Yes, sir.
And he comes walking in the morning before any of the kids are there. He's got on flip-flops. I'm like, dude, what's going on? It's cold outside. He goes, oh, I'm not cold. I'm like, your toes are blue.
Yeah.
Give me that. Well, most of these kids have hand-me-down clothes.
Yeah.
Right? Which is okay.
I grew up with it. Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I was like, man, this is, I got to do something about, I at least need to try to do something. My heart's always been for people.
Yep.
Like I said, this all came out of homeless ministry. And my heart's always been for people. So you see those things. I mean, part of the reason why I'm teaching junior high is because I like kids.
Yeah.
Junior high kids, compassion for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who cares about the math?
Right.
I don't care what Constance says about twin primes, whatever.
Right.
But hopefully she's listening, but she's probably not. Anyway, so, seeing that and understanding that whenever these kids are not in school, they don't know what they're going to eat. They may not have food, whether mom's working all day or, whether mom's having some other problems and she's laid up on the couch all day.
Yeah.
Right. Or whatever it is, or dad's not in the picture, or
meth is bigger in Clay than people think.
Oh yeah. So whether they're laid out on the couch,
yeah.
I got a funny classroom story about that
too.
I'll tell you in a few minutes. Whether laid out on the couch, or whatever, they just don't know.
Yeah.
And so that was part of what pulled on me was, and I always had a heart to go into ministry, but it was never going to be a guy in a suit behind a pulpit.
Right.
Right. I might have been behind a pulpit, but it wasn't going to be no suit.
Yeah.
Anyway, no suit.
Little Joby mentality.
Yes.
And some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joey's where I learned scuba line.
Really?
That's where we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's where I go. Yeah.
What-
1122.
What's up? When?
We bounce around.
I got
so
you.
we went to Fleming Island, and now we've started going to Orange Park
So
more.
you've heard him talk about scuba line.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just didn't know where I got it from. So,
Yeah.
well,
No.
I tune him out when he starts talking about the bulldog, so I have to wait for him to get through that. He's got too big of arms to go talk to him about
He
it.
does. He does.
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
But you'll know something? He understands balance of life, and he understands spiritual warfare.
Yes.
I love when he says, it's not the unbelievers that I'm worried about. It's you believers, you Christians
that are sitting in the church.
sitting in the
Yes.
church.
So I feel like Joby and I are brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
As far as the way we think, the way we approach stuff.
I
a lot
see
of
it.
times. So I can relate. That's why we're there, because I can relate
Yeah.
to that so much as far as
And a lot of the people in there come from our walk.
because of
Yeah. Because he did. He wasn't a believer as a young man.
No, and he
Yeah.
doesn't care what you think.
No.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Right. So, so seeing the kids in class, knowing they need something, we stepped out and started doing some stuff that way. I've never done things the traditional way,
Yeah.
which sometimes I should because it's an easier path.
Yeah.
But so we started doing it, and same growth pattern. And we started with 22, 23 families. Now we're up to 140, right? So that's where that piece came out.
So
of.
they depend weekly on you coming
We do
in
once a month.
once a month.
For two reasons. One,
You don't want them totally dependent on you.
that is the
Yep.
main.
You don't want to say it,
that
but
is
I
the
understand.
Main, no, I was about to say that. That's
Okay.
the main thing. Is we do want to help it be in a situation, and we deliver it.
Yeah.
They're not coming to us to pick it up, which
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's other places in the county that are doing this, and that's what they're supposed to do. Run it at full steam.
Yep.
Right? We're delivering it. And that's very helpful to them in a lot of reasons. But we're also out there creating relationship.
Yeah.
Right? I tell people a couple things. A, God's not mad at you. He might not like what you're doing, but he's not mad at you.
Yeah.
Right? He's all about reconciliation.
Yep.
So when we show up at a house, it's not my job to tell the guy, listen, man, quit being a drunk.
Yeah.
We're gonna start this.
So we
stuff,
got
man.
Go
Come on.
Dogs. I did Gators, and now we
Come
kind
on
of
now.
miss you.
If we're gonna push it, we're
Okay.
gonna push it.
Go ahead.
So it's not my job to tell you what you're doing wrong.
Right.
That's the Holy Spirit's job.
Man, can we get that in the church?
Well,
Let's
if you're
teach.
in the right place, yeah. We
1122. We
got
do.
it.
We got it.
So it's so not my, because whenever I do that, when I tell you you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, I'm setting myself up as an authority and God in your life.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? The Bible says it's the goodness of God that calls us to repentance. So I tell our people all the time, we want to be that goodness. We want to be a portion of that goodness that they're beginning to see him. Now, does that mean that, if we see them doing something, grossly illegal and harming other human beings,
Right.
No, we're gonna
Right.
step up for that. Right. But it's not for me to judge. Right. It's all things to all men
Yep.
is a very interesting verse.
Yeah.
It'll take you all over the place.
My God doesn't need me to define him
Or defend him.
or defend him. He says, "Oh, you won't cry out? I have the rocks cry out for me, cowboy. I don't need you.
Right.
It's a privilege to walk with me."
Right.
The other thing
And he wants us
He
to.
wants to. He likes flexing.
Yeah.
If I,
yes, he does.
If I get out of the way and go, listen, all power to God, what's about to happen here? I've told David before, this is going to take a divine intervention. I cannot do this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh.
Nope.
Yeah.
I had a mentor tell me, he said, my God's a gentleman. He doesn't come anywhere he's not invited.
Right.
And
No,
I-
that's so true.
It just rings in my head. And sometimes all I can get is, Lord, help.
Right.
It's in the Bible.
Right.
I mean, there's a verse in the Bible where, Lord, help, come quickly. I am poor and needy. David cried it out.
Or I believe, help my unbelief. Right. I mean, it's there. So I think that, for us and our vision and our approach is very much what you said earlier. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. So let's show them how much we care, and then they can ask questions. Right. We want to be able to open that. So like if you came and delivered for me,
Attraction, not promotion.
absolutely.
100%.
And I'm not, listen, I'm not the guy to tell you what you're doing wrong in this
Yep.
scenario. We're here to love on you. We're here to support you. We're here to help you any way that we can.
Yeah.
We might not condone some things,
Yep.
but we are, I can't tell you what's right and wrong for you. Listen, I got a buddy, good friend of mine. He actually works with us. He is my barbecue man, right-hand man, right? He was a homeless guy when I found him,
Yeah.
right? Alcoholic.
Yeah.
He didn't drink. He's been sober now for a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
He's doing great. He can't have a beer at the ball game.
Yep.
I can.
Yep.
So it's not this black and white standard.
It's
of
not.
what's right. So check this out. So in the Garden of Eden, God told them not to eat from what?
The tree of knowledge, right?
Of what?
Good and evil.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're not supposed to know that.
Yep.
We're supposed to be in relationship with Him, and He will tell us what's supposed to happen here, not me tell you what you're doing.
So Satan was trying to get him godlike.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to function on what we think is right. Now, listen, before you get a bunch of thumbs down over there, I'm not talking about stuff
I
like
don't care.
I'm not talking about stuff like human trafficking. Those things are clearly wrong. We're
Yeah.
supposed to, we can't kill our neighbor. We can't go chasing our neighbor's wife. All
Right.
these things. Use some common sense, even though
Right.
it's not so common anymore. But
Yeah.
but in general, when it comes to those gray areas, we are not supposed to sit back and go, "Oh, that's wrong. I shouldn't do that." We're supposed to go, "Help me out here.
Yep. Lord guide me.
What do you want me to do right here? What is supposed to happen right here?"
Do you move your feet before you know where God's taking you?
All the time. Am I supposed to? No.
Are you me? Dave's heard me say this. Even TikTok. I dive into the cesspools. I'm not calling TikTok cesspool.
I am. Oh, sorry.
I am, but whatever. I am part of the cesspool. But I dive into the cesspool, and I mean, even before God's got my britches, and he's like, "Oh, Brett," and I'm grabbing a T-shirt, seeing who I can pull out. I told Dave, and then there's somebody on here that I dove in one day and got a hold of her, and was able to introduce her to something, and all of a sudden she is coming up on 30 days sober.
Nice.
Yeah,
See, and I'm not, talk about thinking outside the box. So when I grew up, and this is the case in a lot of places now too, right? And I don't know if I need to say this at the beginning or the end to clarify. Okay, but like, you don't go to that side of town.
yep,
You don't. The strip clubs are
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
The drug side of town's bad. Okay, there's a preacher guy I listen to that he goes into he's in California. He goes into a store there that's a health food store, and the guy who runs it is a self-proclaimed full-on Satanist. People in his church go, "What are you doing going in there?" He goes, "If the light never walks in, he's never going to see it."
ooh, so
I'd like
true.
to take that as my own, but it's not.
Yeah.
I took it from somebody else. So when we're talking about all these other areas in town, I'm the guy that's going. I'm not going to the strip clubs.
Dave.
For the record,
Who's that sound
Oh,
like?
yeah.
I ain't never been in a strip club. Let's just
Yeah.
make that clear.
Yeah,
I am not perfect. I have sinned.
I've been to strip clubs,
But I have
you
never-
can put it on me.
I have never been in a strip club. So, but the idea is, if nobody's reaching out to them,
Yep.
and I don't think it's guys' jobs. They're
Well, I
not
was going to say, can I
they're
go minister to all the dancers? Is what you're saying?
as long as you're not going to the club.
Okay, Dave.
So,
You're right. There actually is a group. There's a woman who actually ministers to strippers and
From
hookers.
1122. Yeah,
Is she from 1122?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not Hadassah's Hope. It's
I think I've heard that. Okay.
yeah, no, they do. So at
love it.
At Arlington. Oh, by the way, this is not an 1122 Love Fest. Promote 1122 everywhere.
Joby
but,
Martin, 1122. You ought to listen to him.
But 1122 is
It's freaking
freaking
phenomenal.
so. Anyway, I mean, so, and I listen. I know a couple of girls that work those things.
Yep.
Because I failed.
Yep.
They came through my classroom.
Yeah.
I failed. I
Yeah.
ended up doing this. But to say, why are you like when we did homeless ministry? This was one of the best days. My mom knows. She knew what I was doing. She knew that I went out and did that. She didn't know when. And
Yeah.
She called me one night, and when we were out on the street, she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "It's the day you've been waiting for, Mom." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "We're out looking for hookers."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And we would go.
Dave.
We would go pray for them. We would
Yep.
feed them. We would minister to them.
I walk Post Street.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We were downtown 63rd Main.
Mine's about 2 a.m. and I'll go down to that park down Main Street where all the addicts hang out.
Yeah,
And if I just walk around there's somebody leaning on a post and I get to chit chat with them. That's interesting.
You and I need to chat, except at 2 a.m. I'm gonna be dead asleep.
Yeah, well, send me. I'll do the third shift.
I'll go with you.
I'm dead serious.
So am I.
I got some good spots. We will
And
talk.
I got some good stories.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
my
yeah.
brother's still out there, so
Yeah.
he's
So we I mean, to me, people say, well, you shouldn't do that. Okay, then don't go.
Yeah.
Because I'm going.
I'm going.
I got to answer to him
Damn
about
right.
what he's put in my heart, and if
I can't explain it.
no.
I can't. I know who I'm. I was during COVID. I was fishing at the Bay Meadows business parks. Nobody's in there.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, a mile away, I saw a little figure, and I started cussing. Son of a bitch! I was just, and I knew, and he kept getting closer and closer. I didn't want him, and he comes up, a young African American young man. Done. I saw it in his face.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got a stick? And I dip. I racially profiled him. I was like, well, I dip. I'm sure you don't want. I'll dip. I was like, okay. So I gave him a dip. He still had never looked at me. He put a dip in. I said, and just out of the blue, and I know you're going to understand. I said, your family done with you?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. I said, you know you're a dead man walking, right? I said, I'm over at this group. I'm over at this group. I'm over this group. I didn't take him to it. Yeah. I didn't get him there because I realized if you really want it, like when you want that drug or drink, you're going to go 5 miles, don't matter. So if you want to get sober, you can go a mile. Yep. And if they won't go a mile, I don't want to meet you.
Yep. So whenever we first started doing this, there's a gentleman here that I first started it when I lived in Colorado.
Yeah.
I'd take a loaf of, I worked the non-medical detox.
Yeah.
I'd take a loaf of bread, I'd make sandwiches, and I'd go on Saturday morning when I wasn't working to the park. Huh. And that's how we started. Then I came here, I moved back here, came back home. I did the same thing. My mom and dad are like, you're going to do what?
Right? You're not really making any money on this.
No, I wasn't.
Right now. I mean, right.
No.
How are you supporting yourself? You're working and doing this?
Yeah. I mean, but this was just a loaf of bread worth of sandwiches.
Yeah, but to you it's that. But to somebody else, it's a Saturday where they could be at the beach and.
Right. Well, so right. So I took them and we'd make these sandwiches and go to the park, and that's how we started. And I would just sit and talk with people, pray with people. The sandwich opens the door.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, I don't look the part.
Right.
Right. You don't.
No.
You might look.
No. I can change. I can dress down.
You don't look the part either. You know, and they know that.
Yeah.
They can tell right away.
Yep.
And so this guy that works with me that I found, he used to live in the woods, and I would go at dusk.
Yeah.
Because that's when they're there. Otherwise, they're out working during the day. They're not there.
Yeah.
So we'd go at night and go find them. And that's how that piece started. And
wow.
Then so there's a guy that used to take me out like that, and he would do that. And I started with him, and he was absolutely that way. So he had a way to help people get off the street. And he would say, you meet me here at 2:00 on Thursday. And then he would intentionally be an hour late. See if they wait.
Wow. Are you desperate enough?
Are you desperate enough?
Are you done?
Yep. And so, you know, if folks, we have to get, I say we because all of us.
Please do.
We have to get rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Because if we're not at rock bottom, we're not really motivated to come back to what we need. So we have to get rock bottom. All of us have to get rock bottom.
Yep.
Listen, I was 18 years old with my skin tone. I was a cross-country track runner in high school. I was on a national championship cross-country team in the 11th grade. So we're running 40 miles a week.
Right.
Okay. Which means
I
don't have
some
of what I got now.
No, you're lean and ripped.
Yes. And I got caught breaking into cars. 18 years old, Duval County Jail. I'll let you figure out what that makes me out to be. And you're targeted.
Oh yeah, my brother did 4.5 years. So he did 9-10 months down in Duval.
Yeah, but when you're my skin tone is 113 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a target.
Yes. So and that's how I came back to the Lord. Was I was sitting there, and it's that same old prayer. Lord, if you get me out of this, I will never.
Foxhole prayer.
And that was rock bottom.
Yep.
I was.
He answers those foxhole prayers too.
Let me just tell you, within 10 minutes, my whole situation changed.
Yep.
Right. Because I knew him. I knew where I knew
and
how to get
you were
to him.
done.
I knew how to get to him because I'd grown up in it.
Yeah.
Right. I'd been out, chasing skirts, smoking weed, all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff. And sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Pretty sure she's not watching, but she probably doesn't even know how to get on the phone. Sorry again, Mom, if you're watching. Anyway, so
Definitely get back.
huh?
No, go ahead.
So I was there and I said, I won't ever do this. I'll
Yeah.
stop. And I did. And
Yeah.
my situation changed in a matter of 10 minutes. And that's how I came back to him. Now, since then, it's been
It's ebb and flow.
yes and no. I mean, I've been after it hard
Yeah.
since then in a good way. That doesn't mean I didn't struggle or haven't.
And then the spiritual warfare settles in because they don't want you in the game.
Oh, they certainly don't want me in the game
Yep.
because
You're a game changer.
Because I'm the guy that's going to be.
You
out
know
there.
it too, don't you?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I mean, I don't.
It's not arrogance. There's a difference. I've had so many people tell me, if I hear one more time that I'm aggressive, and there was
You should
Deanne.
tell him thank you.
True. I need to learn that. There's a weakness in me, and you and I are gonna get to know each other. And that's one thing about this podcast. But I had a lady up front, and I just couldn't get her to understand what I was trying to get her to, where I was trying to get her to go, and I wasn't willing to push the button here. But when I'm outside, it's a little more dogmatic because it's life and death for me. It's some of the first gods they ever meet are a gift of desperation.
Yeah.
And maybe I am the greatest idea you ever had until you get to understand. Because I found many people to be insane until they get all that alcohol, liquid, or spirits out of them to even make a decision about a higher power.
Yeah.
Which I love to call God. But I use the word higher power a lot. I learned it from AA.
Sure.
Because I found out there was people in there that had Buddha and they had this and that they're set God with cussing and drunk and whores and a bunch of, and then some very professional people, and he answered all. And I mean, that is some of the most rawest spirituality I've ever been around.
Yeah.
When you see, I know y'all celebrate
Those
recovery.
people are real.
Real.
Those people
I still go. I'm 11 plus years. I still go because you can't get much more authenticity than you can in that room.
Listen, he didn't come after the church people.
He didn't come after them.
He didn't come for them at all.
No, he talked to them. They're Laodicea.
Yeah. And so, I feel like that a lot of times we say, oh, we're a Christian, and people expect something.
Yep.
So when you come at them and it's different,
Yep.
they don't know how to handle that.
No,
right?
they don't.
Check this out. So, and if you been this, I didn't take this from Joey. This is mine.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
Own it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He gave it.
Yours is his.
But he talks about Jacob wrestled with God,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and whenever that was done, he had a limp.
Yep.
The rest of his life, everybody that looked at him knew something was different because he walked with a limp. Right?
Yeah.
So whenever you have an encounter with God, I have an encounter with God, if we're not changed in a way that's obvious to people, did you really? But the difference is that's going to come out. I can't help but talk about it.
Whatever you put in comes out.
I can't help, because of what he's done and the experience that's there. Nothing wrong with people who grew up in church.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't know. But a lot of times they've never known that
bottom. Yep.
right? And so and then everywhere that Jesus went, people knew he was there because he either healed somebody, pissed somebody off, or changed their life.
100%.
So everywhere we go, do people know that Jesus has been there? Because you know what I'm saying? So that whole aggressive thing to me is people can't handle confidence.
Yep.
If we're confident in what we do, it's arrogance.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't get it.
Assertiveness is a better word.
Yeah.
And and Deanne gave it to me, one of our dealers who's now gone. She said, I had some ladies in, because I work in a women's world, and I have a vendor antique business. And I have some ladies that'll think Dave works with me, thinks I'm very aggressive. And Deanne goes, Brett, you're not aggressive. You're assertive, meaning I knew the right path.
Right.
And I can't let you get off that path because I know if we go this way, we're going to be out of business. If we go this way, you're not going to make as much money. This benefits customers. It's ethical. It's honest. And we do well in life.
Right.
And so I keep us on that path. And when somebody starts trying to build a new system, you have the right to do that, but you got to go open another building. This is mine, and we run, and it's biblical principles. This is a ministry first.
Do you know who Penn and Teller is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know which one's which, but the big tall guy,
Yeah.
right? You may have heard this, you may not. He's a self-proclaimed proud atheist.
Yep.
And he said one day...
It's the tall one.
Yeah, the tall
Yeah.
guy.
Teller.
Yeah, I don't know which one he is.
Me neither.
I always thought it'd be funny if the other guy was Teller because he never told anybody. Right? But, I heard him say one day, he's like, regardless of what religion you are, he goes, if you think you have the truth, how bad do you have to hate somebody to not try to keep them out of hell or whatever your
Right,
particular
belief.
belief system? He goes, so I'm not offended when people try to tell me about Jesus. That just tells me they love me. How bad do you have to hate somebody to not tell them?
And that's a Satanist.
And that's an atheist.
I mean, an atheist.
Atheist. And I'm thinking this is so profound. And the church world is not, I don't know, is not ready for authenticity in a lot of ways, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening, 1122 talks about being a movement for all people,
Yeah.
right? I think what's happening is those all people, or whether it's through 1122 or RCC or whatever church you attend, there's a lot of great churches.
There
out
are.
there. I'm not trying to say that with it, but we've kind of bashed a little bit of that stuff this
Yeah.
morning, but I'm not trying to say all that. But if there's a lot of good churches out there, and authenticity and realness is what is beginning to come through.
There's a movement going on in this younger generation. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 27 to 15, there's a shift to less about me and more about we. And it's still not godly, but then all of a sudden there's a whole nother crew. Like my son plays for the Savannah Bananas. And so there's this big, I mean,
You
there's-
still play for them?
yeah. So, but then there's 4 teams now, and they're going to end up having 8. And it's funny, he plays for the Texas Tailgaters now. He's with the Party Animals, then they moved to the Texas Tailgaters. It's the newer team, so they keep putting vets at newer teams, and they keep growing them. They have a whole country singing group on the Texas Tailgaters, the pitcher, and they're really freaking good, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah, they're real good.
Well, they've been having Bible study afterwards. Now, Jesse Cole, the owner, I don't think he's a believer in any which way, but he loves people and has a tenderness.
And he's big on culture.
He is big on culture, huge on culture, fans first and all that mentality. So they now have a platform now, and they're out there singing. There are 400 to 600 people. They have Bible study afterwards.
That's awesome.
And there are now 400 to 600. My son is just I tell you, that man, that boy's on fire. He's a man. I mean, he calls me and lights me up. Not like preaching, but gives me a message and shares something that happened. And he's on DL this year, and he should have been cut.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you get paid to play, and they kept him because of his belief system and his culture and all that.
Yeah.
And he called me with 600 people, and afterwards they were coming down, and he was able to share his testimony. Awesome. I mean, this was a guy that was heading. I mean, he was in high school, he was okay. In the college, he got pretty good, got up 94, 95, which as a lefty isn't it fast anymore. It used to be fast as lightning. And coaches were just pushing him in different directions. Got in the minor leagues, started dominating, but kept getting cut.
Yeah.
Because God didn't want him there.
Right.
And he kept moving and I remember him being in St. Louis, and he called me. He was dominating, and they cut him. He said, we need somebody with a little more experience. And he's like, how am I going to get experience if you don't let me on the mat? That old, I mean, baseball is a brutal sport. Yeah. And he said, Dad, I'm going to stay in St. Louis for a couple of days. I don't know where I'm going. Dude, I was broke. I was like, oh my God, my boy, and there's a young man who sat there for 3 days on his knees crying, not crying, but praying to God about direction and guidance. And all of a sudden he called me, some place picked him up, happened 3 times. And then the next time he'd already messed with the Savannah Bananas in college, and he ends up over there making good money, has to throw 1 inning a game and gets to dance and
and have a good time. Yeah.
And, I always knew he was meant for, sometimes, not all my kids, but I knew that there was something bigger for him. There was something special about him. And then when he tore his labrum, I didn't think he'd ever make it to MLB and, all that. And so where was God going to use him? And now he sits there in front of 80,000 fans with his Jesus Loves Me shirt on and a cowboy hat. Yeah. And he's signing Bible verses on every ball. That's awesome. Kids
awesome.
He's now touching people, and you never would have saw it. I mean, he saw him in high school. The kid, once he put one in the dirt, you're like, oh, God. Here we go. The whole inning was he was a mental basket case. God put him with somebody that was a coach that hated him, which made him tough.
Yeah.
And he just moved on. And,
awesome.
God was seasoning you.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I am not embarrassed about
me neither
anything, because I know what it did. It did several different things for me. It creates who we are.
Yep.
In a lot of ways, it brings out that if you don't have the heat and the pressure, then a diamond is not going to happen. Not that 100. I'm a diamond necessarily, but we need that, right?
Yep.
And if all those things, like, so I was teaching one day. I think I was teaching. It might have been when I was in Colorado. I was in Colorado, working at a boys' crisis shelter out there, and these kids are talking and they think you don't know anything,
Right.
right? Until I start taking them through what it's like to break into a car step by step and what you're feeling and the adrenaline and all that stuff. I'm like, I never could have done that. So the audience that I have is people that other people aren't going to have an audience with.
Who was your favorite car to break into? A Honda Civic.
It didn't matter. The hammer went through the window no matter what kind
Oh,
of car
so
it
you were
was.
just good. Okay, so you didn't steal the cars. You stole what was in.
I just stole it.
Okay,
Buzzbusters,
that's even
radar
smarter.
detectors,
Yeah.
stereos, things like that. We're smashing.
Okay.
We scouted
Smash
it out.
and grab.
Sorry, Mom.
Did you ever do like what was the road I was on? I'll tell you a funny story. I used to travel a lot for Would You Furniture, and so I would be gone for 2 or 3 weeks. So I would put all my clothes in, all my tools, everything. I got home late one night. I'd been smoking a little bit. This was way back. I was like 20. Got home to the
No, I didn't do it. No,
to the condo.
I didn't
Okay.
break in your
No,
car.
but you'll
when
like
you were
this
20.
story. No, you'll like this story.
I'm not that
No,
old.
this it wasn't you. This guy was an idiot. And so
Well, I
so
probably might have been me. Anyway, go ahead.
somebody broke in, stole a whole bunch of stuff. Cops came. It was like 2:00 in the morning, whatever. I get in the car the next couple days, got my window fixed. I'm leaving out of Wilshire condominiums, and I turn left on the Powers Avenue. There's a guy riding a bike this way, and he's got my fancy leather jacket on. And it's like, I left early morning. It's like 5, and I had a V6 full-size Chevy, so I couldn't Chevys don't make big quick turns. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me. It's like this slow, so I'm like, that's my jacket. By the time I got whipped around, he was in the apartments. It was probably 5:30 in the morning. I am opening my door, hitting trash cans. I will find you. I'm circling the whole damn thing.
That was not me.
No, you'd have been gone. Yeah. So somebody enjoyed my nice leather jacket and a whole bunch of other stuff. I even had a video. I could imagine these guys smoking a joint. I had a camera. I went through 326, down 301, down 75 to Bradenton. To Bradenton when I opened the new store,
Right.
and I was showing my wife all this. Had my kid's first year birthday on it, and when they stole the camera, and I could imagine. I was talking to my wife, and I was being goofy, and I'm like, these guys are sitting here smoking weed, cracking up at my little goofy ass.
Yeah. Right.
So I deserved every bit of it because I don't believe in karma necessarily. Do you? Like, I mean, I don't get it.
Karma's cruel.
It's cruel.
My son sometimes go, well, that's karma. I was like, dude, you don't want karma.
You don't want
That
it.
means every bad thing that's happened to you is because you did something bad.
You're right.
You have to be perfect
Right.
with karma.
Right. I mean, I would be dead if karma was real. 100%. Well, most of us.
Without question.
Yeah.
I probably would have never made it out of my teens.
What's the biggest challenge you've come into with your organization? Because I know there's spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So, I sometimes I hate this, but you got to have money.
yep.
Money, without money, nothing works.
Yep.
Right. And the Lord brings money. He
Yep.
can do whatever with that. So between that, and
Raising money.
raising money, and having, well, we've got a couple of difficult things, but volunteers,
Yeah.
right? Because there's no shortage of needy families.
Yeah.
It's not my vision that they come to us. It's my vision that we go to them. So I got to have people to deliver.
I mean,
Right? We call them agents of grace. Literally, it takes, if you're chatty like you, it's
Yes.
going to take a little longer,
good.
right? But if you're not, it's okay. So what we do is on that third Saturday of the month, all of our agents of grace meet us at RCC. We have a portable on the back of their building that they so graciously let us use,
Right.
that we run the outreach stuff out of.
Is Judge there?
Who?
Judge.
Oh,
He still
Tim,
scares me.
Tim.
No, who's my judge, Dave?
Tim.
He got about tired of seeing me. I'll think of his name in a
Collins.
second.
Collins?
Tim Collins.
Yeah. it's
He's
Judge
at the
Collins?
church, but he didn't deliver for us.
Okay.
So
My underarms will start sweating.
yeah, he's yeah.
He's tired
Yeah,
of
he's-
seeing me.
he's-
Mr. Blankenship? Oh, shit.
yeah, he's still there. So
He
anyway,
saved my life, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna thank him one day. I'm not ready yet, but go ahead.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be there when you walk up to him.
I will walk up to him
You'll
and
be
I will
there.
shake his hand. I hope to have him on here one day.
Yeah.
Just not yet.
I can probably help you make those
I
connections.
know you
if
can, just
want.
not yet. Not yet.
So anyway, so on that third Saturday of the month, we provide the food, we provide the families. All we need from you guys is somebody to drive, somebody to pray. They understand that it's a
Yep.
ministry. We want you to pray with your families. And then halfway through the delivery cycle, we ask that you reach out to them again and just check in on them,
Sure.
pray with them, whatever, understanding that it's ministry. So that's it. That's the only thing we ask from them,
Wow.
right? obviously I can't pay for gas.
Right.
Right. But I'm giving you the food
Right.
and I'm giving you the family name.
Right.
I feel like we're kind of doing the
You're doing a
hard
lot
leg
of
work, right?
Yeah.
We try to keep most of our routes close,
Yeah.
meaning I'm not going to send you to, you know,
I'll take the far ones though.
Collins. Well, I'm not going to send you to Collins Road and then Melrose
Right.
on the same run.
Right.
Now, we do have some that get spread out that way, but that's because the guy that lived next door to the guy on Collins Road moved to Melrose.
Right.
At that point, I would look at you and go, do you have a good relationship with them? Do you
Yeah.
want to keep ministering to them? Do you want to keep, if not, we can move them to somebody that's a little bit closer in that.
And is it branching out as they move out? You find then,
Yeah, we have some in Jacksonville because some of the families have moved.
Yeah.
So we have some in Duval County, but 98% of it's Clay County because my referrals come through the school system.
gotcha.
That was one of the things that we were able to establish when I was there. And so, they give us most of our referrals.
Right.
If you call me up and say, hey, Nate, I got a guy, I got a family, so I'm going to take it because I know you.
Right.
Right. But if you see me driving down the road and you see the side of my truck,
Right.
and you call me up, hey, I need food. We might
Yeah.
help you once or twice, but then we're going to go through the channels.
Right.
Right. Kind of thing. And so our biggest need in that is those things, is raising money. Obviously, funding is always, because I don't
Yep.
teach. I'm not in the classroom anymore. That's what I do
Yep.
full time. So unfortunately, I still have to eat.
Yep.
My family still, you still
got
gotta
bills
do
to
stuff.
pay.
Yeah, you got bills to pay.
Yep.
So, we have that, and then, like I said, the volunteers is kind of the two biggest things that we have, that
Yeah.
we do. So,
And you have a spot on your Dave, pull up the website, please. You have a spot on your website to scroll down to where they can see it. What this will do is it'll show it when you see it on the podcast. Will be smaller,
Yeah.
and it'll show it larger. But scroll down to the the volunteer opportunities.
well, all these little buttons,
Yep.
there, those are all links.
Click that if you can, Dave.
Which one?
That one.
That one?
That one right there.
There you go.
Yep.
Click on it.
You
It
see the
should-
big red
it should
donate
take you
people.
it should take you to another landing page.
So there's no reason for any of us not to get involved some way, shape, or form. Because of 1122, I have a Brazilian young man from years ago that I still sponsor. And I mean, we all want change. When are we going to get involved and be the change of it,
Well, the beauty of that is think about it this way. When Jesus fed the 5,000, right? He gave it to the disciples and they gave it out.
Yeah.
Where did the miracle come through?
The disciples.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus wasn't breaking the bread hand. He gave it to the disciples and they broke the bread. So, if we're going to see that change you're talking about, if there's going to be, and I'm an AG boy, so if there's going to be miracles, come on now.
I love miracles.
I do too. If we're going to see that stuff,
Yeah.
God's not coming. He came.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back down like that.
Yeah.
Bible says it's Christ in you, the hope of glory. The very power that raised Christ from the dead dwells in our mortal bodies.
We are the church.
So with that, we're going to get to heaven. We're going to have some explaining to do, Lucy, because we did not do those things. Jesus said, greater things than these will you do, right? I don't know how many people really think about that statement. Who said that? God said, let there be light. Bam. And there was light. So the creative force, God spoke the world into existence. And then the Bible says, and the word became flesh. So the power that created the universe was Jesus.
Right.
Then the Bible says he lives in us.
Right.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
There's a little bit of accountability there.
Ruh-roh. We got some stuff to do, and we're not living to that full ability. So if we're going to do that, we have to get out and do it.
Yeah.
Jesus said go.
Yeah.
No offense to these tent meetings and
Right.
old time revivals, but he didn't say come.
Yeah.
He said go.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to be go. I mean,
It's that one-on-one, man to man, woman to woman. There's something special when I relate to you through a story, and I care because I get it. I've been in that dark spot.
yes.
There's that old saying in AA or old story that there's a hole and there's an alcoholic in there.
Oh my gosh.
And
I
the
love
pastor walks by and he spits out a Bible verse, and the AG walks by and he throws out some, and it goes on, and all these people come by, and then a drunk comes in and jumps in, and he goes, "What the hell are you doing down here now?" He goes, "Well, I know the way out. Come on."
Yeah.
And that's really what you do.
Yeah.
Minus the cussing maybe a little bit, but I have seen miracles in my life that were nothing but God.
There's no way I could do
There's
it.
no way I can explain it. And people will look at me and they're as if I'm crazy. And because there become AA talks about when you follow the 9-step promises, which basically for me, I'm not a big AA talker on here, but AA is just pre-K to the Bible. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yep.
It's us
Yep.
boneheads that don't know, that don't want to see Jesus. And then all of a sudden here he sits in the
Listen,
room.
I've never been to AA,
Yeah.
but I got a lot of friends that go, and I have gotten a lot out of AA without ever going.
Oh, the first 164 pages are divinely written. They are not the Bible. You know, we know that. But I'm telling you, they took 100 drunks. It wasn't just 2 people who wrote that book. There was 100 drunks that wrote that book. That means they would write an edition and send it to 100. And if you've never been around 100 drunks trying to agree on something, you think church is hard. Get a bunch of sober drunks trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
We call ourselves drunks. Don't get offended. I'm not. And I'm like you. I know what I was. And I use the word drunk playfully, you know, because alcoholism for me was selfishness and self-centeredness.
Right.
It just showed itself in alcohol. It showed itself in work before. The world praised me as a workaholic. I ran 45 wood use stores and a 300,000 square foot distribution center. I was a young dude and making good money. And that guy, you know, and I was dead inside.
Right.
You know,
So
and
what's the point?
what's the point?
You're dead inside.
That money meant nothing. And by the way, I blew it. And if you don't have value in God, I don't have value in money. I've found that.
Yeah.
If I don't have a purpose, then I have no purpose in this money and I'm going to waste it.
Right.
And so I got to keep a purpose in my life. And you have a strong purpose. But I do know this about men and women that have strong purposes that are God-based. There is another side that wants you out of that game.
Oh, absolutely. And he's tried to take me out.
So I want some of that. I want somebody to hear, not necessarily specifics, but just whatever's in your head.
Oh,
I mean, spiritual warfare. So like shutting down, you know, food laws, and I mean all the little, and all of a sudden you're talking to somebody, a phone rings. Do you ever wonder, like when you're in the middle of a spiritual conversation and the phone rings? I always wonder who it is that calls me. Not that everything means something, but sometimes it's meant to get me off my game.
yeah. Well, and there's been times I've been in the middle of something I shouldn't have been in, and my phone rings,
I've been there.
and I'm like, "Ooh, how did you know?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I blinked my eyes. I was with God in AA. He started blessing not only me mentally, but the roofing blew up. And before I knew it, Dave was around me. Before I knew it, I'd bought Orange Crush. I was running with the deepest gangsters of Jacksonville. Yeah. And I truly was being with God. I'm on Sutel at 2:00 in the morning at Woot de Woot, getting nods from everybody. I mean, it was like, don't mean to be calling out people, you know, but it was just, we were trying to throw festivals. I'd gotten into gangster rap.
Yeah. Listen, and I think,
And I blinked. I was like, holy crap, I'm ahead.
yeah,
Wait, Dave's like, way ahead.
yeah.
It didn't start out to be that.
Well, and listen, he's moving through stuff that's not traditional to us,
He is.
right? He's moving through different places that we're never going to see it coming from because we're so tunnel vision.
Yep.
I'm going to say 2 words to you. One name, 2 words. You know exactly what I'm talking about. He's moving through stuff we don't even know. Jelly roll.
So true.
Unbelievable what's happening with that, right?
Yep.
With him. So, but yeah, so there's been, I mean, obviously we've been through struggles.
Yep.
There's been stuff, whether it's been a financial situation, whether it's just been personal struggle
Yep.
in my life. I can tell you Psalms 23 is huge to me. And I know it's cliche,
Yep.
but let me expand on that a little bit. So it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I changed that to, because as a kid, I'm like, you mean I don't want him?
Right.
I don't get this. What are you talking about?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. So, but I changed it to, I am satisfied.
Right.
He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. So, the Lord pretty much saved my life with that passage. And I mean literally, not, oh, yeah, you were doing bad. No.
Did somebody give it to you or you came across it?
No. I was sitting in church at 11:22, and the Lord will start talking to me, and he'll start talking to me really fast sometimes.
Yep.
And I said, you got to stop.
Yeah.
I got to get to my journal. I said, can you just hold off till tomorrow, Lord? Just give me till tomorrow. And there's a couple places I'll go just sit and take and just start writing and just download, you know, just start sending me. And so it did, and I was in a real low place at the time. I was frustrated. My life was out of control. And this was just 5-6 years ago, right? After I'd left the classroom. I mean,
Yep.
you know, it was just a mess. And so he started talking to me, and he brought Psalms 23 to me. And he said, he goes, so the reason why everything is a mess is because you've made something else your shepherd, right?
Yep.
He said, when I am not your shepherd, you're not satisfied.
So true.
You don't. So green pastures is the biblical imagery of provision. says you don't have provision, you don't have peace, and your soul is a wreck.
Peace.
So what he said to me was, whenever those things are coming up in your life and they're not, you don't have the provision, you don't have those things, I'm not your shepherd. It's like, it doesn't matter what is your shepherd at that point, but you've gotten off course, right? And so to me, that is huge, right?
Makes sense.
It was such a huge, and the whole Psalms 23, if you look at Psalms 23, it is quite literally the picture of our spiritual walk. The Lord is my
Yeah.
shepherd, you get saved.
Yeah.
I shall not want. Then there's that honeymoon phase that we all go through spiritually.
Yeah. He made
Lie
me
down in
lie
green
down in
pastures.
pastures.
Restores my soul.
Leads
It-
me by the still waters.
Yep. Then it turns into, you know, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. So now things get tough.
For thou art with me.
Your rod and your staff, they comfort me.
Comfort me.
He prepares a table before me in the presence of my
I
enemies.
love that part.
Oh boy, let me preach on that.
Come
Boy,
do
boy,
it. I
boy.
mean, he's going to
So-
put a table right in front of my enemies so they can see me eat and feast. Talk to me
I
about
don't have
this.
to talk about that. You
Talk
got-
to- I want this.
So here's the thing with that. In the Old Testament, whenever they got together to eat, it wasn't like, hey, let's go to McDonald's and grab a burger.
Yep.
It was intimate. It meant something.
Yep.
Right? So he is taking us, we're back to that whole, took him to the edge of the cliff.
Yep.
I'm not hanging, boys. See you
Yep.
later. Thanks for the ride. Okay. He's prepared a place of intimacy for us in the presence of our enemies, our warfare, whatever. But he's having this intimate interaction with us, and the enemy has to watch. Now listen, if that don't,
Piss them off.
and if that don't shake you up, and as a friend of mine used to say, if that don't light your fire, your wood's wet.
Ooh.
So it's this whole thing that there's this, it's always there. And you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Listen, the shadow, there can't be a shadow if there's no light. He's
Yep.
always there. So this is just this whole picture.
See, I didn't even think about that. I've read that a million times. There can't be a shadow without a light. Keep going. I love it.
So this whole thing is just a picture of our walk from start. And then at the very bottom it says, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord all,
Yep.
So it's a picture of our salvation and our personal walk, the whole thing. But that whole thing about he prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies, thinking about that will wreck me, right? And, it talks about he anoints our head with oil.
Yep.
So, again, Old Testament, obviously, because it's King David, who was a phenomenal dude.
Phenomenal.
Oh, my God, I love David. I love David. Anyway,
Yes.
but the idea here is when he puts, why they put oil on sheep's head? Because they get these little
The
gnats
fleas?
and these mites. And the way that the sheep would handle it, this is going to trip you out. They would bang their head against a tree.
Until they knock themselves?
Well, until it tried to go away or until they, whatever was bugging them stopped.
I didn't know that.
So when they put oil on it,
It kept them away.
yeah.
And then they didn't bang their head.
So how many times we bang our head against the
Oh
wall
my
trying to do
God.
something?
A million times.
But when he anoints our head with oil, when we've been in his presence, in that table, he anoints our head with oil. There's always a place of intimacy and a place of worship in the middle of the battle.
Always.
Always. We just got to find it and
Yeah.
not be distracted. We got to find it. So when he puts that on our head, all of a sudden it calms us. My cup runneth over. Right? Anyway.
Psalms
Psalms 23 is
I'm in the
so-
middle of a war right now. And that's
Instrumental.
what I love about this is God brings I mean, people get to get stuff out of this, but this journey started for me.
So for me, the biggest part, anytime I'm in any warfare and anything's going sideways,
Yeah.
I know that he's not my shepherd. I've moved him out of that place. I've put something else in that place because the fruit of him being my shepherd is provision, peace. My soul is good. The fruit of something else being my shepherd is exactly the opposite of that.
Do you feel like you can be in God's path and still be dealing with that?
Oh, we deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so like when Peter walked on the water.
Yeah.
Think about this.
I love that one.
He's stepping out of the boat. He's walking.
Had his eyes on
Had
Jesus.
his eyes on Jesus. When he looked at the waves, he started to sink. He put his eyes back on Jesus. And what's it say?
Yeah.
He was on the other side.
Yeah.
He didn't calm the storm.
Yeah.
He didn't calm the waves. Peter just
true.
wasn't looking at him. Right? So for me, in that whole warfare thing, it's become very much that whole Psalms 23 is absolutely that barometer for me. If I start to get frustrated, I go, oh, wait a minute. I put something else as the shepherd over my emotions, over my situations, over my finances, over whatever.
There's that person.
And people will go, well, you got to figure out what that is. No, I don't. I just got to know that it's not him. So when I put him back over that, it doesn't necessarily mean all those things go away. It just means
I have ability to deal with it.
I just handle it different.
Yeah.
Right. And it means, I don't know. That passage legitimately saved my life.
Preacher McCormick from Harvest Baptist, he's old school independent Baptist. I don't know that he's independent, but whatever he is, he's old school. And he told me one day, he was like, he was a mentor of mine. He was like, Brett, he said, I don't much think God cares what happens. I think he cares how I respond to it.
1,000%.
And then he took off. I was whining about something. It was 2004. I'll never forget it. And he owned a Tracy's camp. And they got
kids.
Yeah. And then his brother got in there and Saint got involved, and there were some things that happened, and they've been trying
Camp Tracy.
Camp Tracy. And that was his son that actually died. His name was Tracy, and he actually died from an overdose or alcoholism. I don't know exactly which one, and so he started Camp Tracy, and they were after him forever.
Yeah.
And eventually they shut it down. And he actually was a rep for us, buying furniture. Mm-hmm. They would make money, and they would help. It would help keep that place afloat a little bit. I didn't own it, but Would You Distributors was and so I got to know him through that. But that was probably one of the greatest tools he ever gave me, and that was 20 some odd years ago. And I still remember that.
And it's not that God doesn't care about all of our stuff.
No,
but He's more concerned with our character development.
Yep.
He's more concerned with who are you going to be in spite of this.
Yep.
Who are you going to be coming through this?
Yep.
Right. So
I always think of it as spiritual weight. It's just sort of like I'm on my third rep and he's got his finger underneath. Come on, just a little bit more, just to get, Yeah. And then the next time, hey, let's go for a new PR, and that's sort of how it's a stretching of my spiritual skills,
right,
which suck at times. But here's the thing that David helped me with: I'm allowed to suck.
Yeah.
See, when I was growing up, you weren't allowed to suck, and you had to start the day over when the sun came up the next time.
You got to repent for walking through the rated R section of Blockbuster. I know people don't know what Blockbuster is. A lot of you, maybe you do, but it's like, no, it's not like that.
No,
we're human. It's okay.
Friday night, you're looking for a movie, and there's a big booby mommy, and I happen to look at the boobies. I'm going to hell. I couldn't get over that, and it didn't make sense.
AG and old school Baptist will tell you that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And if I remember I was at Fort Clinch fishing with my brother, and I was cussing. I was about 13, and I fell. It was before they poured the concrete, so it was the rocks. Mm-hmm. And I fell, and my leg went in a whole bunch of barnacles, and it cut me up. And I was at the hospital, and they're cleaning it out, taking all the barnacles out. My mom's sitting there, and she goes, were you cussing today? She knew me. I was like, yes, ma'am. See, sometimes Jesus doesn't like it when we cuss, and he has to get our attention. That's the God.
You know what I say about that?
Yeah.
Scuba line.
Yeah. You know what I said about it? Fuck that. Well, that makes no sense.
Right.
I don't know how so many of these churches don't take just a baby step back and look at the big picture of what Jesus was saying.
Right.
There's a golden rule. Put that Bible up on the shelf until you can touch a little bit of that golden rule. I mean, my father, one thing I love about him is he'll take one verse and he will walk all year with it, or until he just has it just so dissected that he chews it till it's mush.
I understand.
And then because his point is, what do I need to have this whole book for if I can't follow this one little one? Matthew 7:1 is his. Yeah. And he has been on that for decades, and he brings it up all the time. And he's not saying it like I have a beam in my eye. Yeah. What it says in Matthew 7:1 is, why are you looking at the speck in another person's eye when you have a beam in your eye? Yeah. Basically, why are you looking at him dipping when you're cheating on your wife?
Right.
And the other thing is, we were watching I don't like a lot of this medical or like interview, the cops with the pedophilia and the special sex victims shows. I don't watch that. Yeah. That's the part I don't need in my head. My wife was watching. She's not for any other. She's a godly woman, but she was watching. She loves 48 Hours, and it was about a predator, and he was sitting here saying stuff, and she was chuckling, and I'm not getting on Dawn Marie, and she was sitting there chuckling a while back, and he said, I said, Dawn, I said, isn't it funny? The exact words he's using, and I slid it over to my world, like one of my sins, and I used that exact same phrases that I've used other times, and all of a sudden it fit, because to God, The Bible says no sin's greater than another,
Right.
and we can't wrap our mind. I cannot. You mean to tell me I'm identical to that pedophile? That pedophile? Bull. You know.
You know why we can't do that?
Because we don't know good and evil.
Because we set ourselves up as that judge. Well, you're worse than I am.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's exactly what that boils down
One
to.
of Satan's greatest tools is religion.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he mixes all these denominations, and we all sit here and fight. Well, I don't, but I watch all these people fight, and I'm going. I have said this to people, like speaking in tongues. When I get up, come across AG people, I'm like, listen, it could be an absolute beautiful gift that when I get to heaven, God pops me in the back of the head and said, "You missed a good one," Yeah. But I don't get it, and that's where I stand. And until God shows me somewhere and allows me to, and it's not a feeling. That's what I pay attention to. Make sure I'm not involved in the feelings of spirituality. Because if I get into feelings, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get happy. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be just, I've been there. I'm a basket case. God gives me that. Well,
Even keel.
Good orderly direction is another God that they taught me long before I already knew God.
Yeah.
But when they told me gift of desperation and good orderly direction, let that be your God.
Yeah.
And then in there, I think all it really was, and you tell me, I think all it really was is a willingness. I showed a willingness of being desperate. I was done.
Yeah.
I had no more good ideas. I didn't know why I was where I was. Mm-hmm. And then God was, you're ready.
Yeah.
And then he didn't come. In came men and women that the world would go, who's he? And spit wisdoms like you're doing and just gold. I mean, it was the words that came out of their mouths when I was looking a year and day in prison for 2.5 years. My business was collapsing. Nothing was working. Dave was around. I'm going, this isn't me. And there's that small voice. Yeah, this is who you are. Yeah. And it began to change in me. But it wasn't overnight. And that's what you do. I mean, these families you're staying with, right?
Yeah.
How long do you?
So typically, and we'll stay with them till they tell us to go away, right? I mean,
the kids can grow up and move out.
The red tape and the stuff I have to deal with is very little because I just have to talk to the boss and go, hey, what are we doing?
I love it.
And so I look in the mirror and go, what are we doing? And he goes, well, that's what you're doing, because it's me.
Yeah.
And so we will follow them. We've had some that, they got some medical issues. They can't work. Yeah. We stay with them for as long as we need to.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of people tell us, hey, we're doing much better now. Thank you. We so appreciate what you guys did.
Do you
give
see
somebody else?
Do you have a vision for it getting bigger?
I do. That lofty goal for me for the last 5-6 years is 200 families a month, which is 10,000 meals.
Wow.
Every month. But we run into hurdles with that, with having volunteers to do it.
Yep.
We run into hurdles financially with that a little bit.
Yep.
So, those are some goals, and he's moving some different ways. One of the other, one way we fund it, we hadn't talked about this yet, and we can, or we
please
can come
do.
back to
No, please
so
do.
One of the ways that we fund this is through barbecue fundraising.
Right.
So I call it that. Basically, I do catering. We do festivals. I did a small one yesterday. I dropped off a pan of pulled pork and a pan of brisket for a lady yesterday. One pan of each.
Right.
But coming up August 3rd, is it Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, 2nd or 3rd.
Right.
We're going to be at Pura Vida. That's
very nice.
300 people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we do big stuff, we do small stuff, all that kind of stuff. Kind of thing.
Is it a ministry as well, or it's more just?
It is the fundraising arm underneath.
Gotcha.
The nonprofit
to help
ministry.
you make monies
yes,
for.
Yes. So.
And I'll put a link of that on the comments and in the description. So if you're interested and you're in Clay County and you want some good barbecue, and a good purpose in life, I mean, you get to eat and help people.
That's
so
right.
Look them up. And even if you don't donate, $1 a month makes a world of difference if 100 people are doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna start donating. I'm not just saying that for here, but I mean, if I can't throw $5 a month to an organization that does something like this,
it's like buying a soda and a candy bar.
It's sodas. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm challenging you, and All About the Grind is going to start challenging. I don't know how, but we'll figure this out. I'm going to start some kind of a event.
There you go.
I want to help.
Awesome. We love it. We love to do it. So it's funny you say that because it's not on this shirt, but on some, might be on the back. No, it's not on the back of this one. One of the things that one of our little taglines is feed yourself to feed someone else.
Oh.
So when you come to get barbecue, And if we got enough people working the booth, which I normally do, we're going to be talking about what we do.
Yeah.
When you're standing in line, if I got it, I'm going to walk out there and I'm going to talk to you and say, listen, just so you know, we're a nonprofit. This is what we do. So when you support us, you're not padding my pocket.
Right.
You're helping feed families in the community. We are going to be at the Fall Festival, Orange Park Fall Festival. We've been
Awesome.
there every year. Cool. Not every year, but we've been there, I don't know, 5-6 years in a row, whatever it is. Once we got in, we stay in there. So,
right.
And we're going to be at Into the Looking Glasses on, what's the last Saturday of July? I'm terrible with these dates.
That's okay. I'm going to put them all up on the descriptions. Right. I'll get them all accurate.
Which is, that's in Fleming.
Right.
So come on out to that and see us and support a good cause with that. If you got weddings, you got parties, you want something you want to do, come on out. The other thing that we have moved to, because we have sort of outgrown the barbecue.
Right.
And what I mean by that is we will continue to do barbecue, we will continue to do catering and those kinds of things. But our need has outgrown what that has provided. Part of that is due to, I hate to blame everything on COVID, but things are just now really coming back to what they were before COVID, right? People are doing more things, more events, more things like that. It's coming out. So between COVID and what we grew in that, and then being able to have the barbecue and do that different stuff.
You got follows going.
Awesome.
People are following you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Those things we've kind of outgrown what the barbecue can do right now. So we're looking to have business partners.
Yeah.
There's several different levels to that. I can get you that paper.
Please do.
If you want. That gets some advertising in for those big businesses. It also gets some catering.
Hang on one second. Hi, ladies. We are actually closed today. You're closed? Yeah, I meant to lock the door. We're in a podcast right now.
You want to come say hi?
You walk up. You want to sit down and listen? Go shop. Turn the lights on. Go, listen. Hang on one second.
I get it.
No, Dave, I got it. Y'all talk for a second. Let me turn. We got customers. Hang on a second.
Customers. So our business partnership stuff there's different levels to that. And there are inside of that, there's some media exposure for those businesses. There's some catering deals, depending on, what levels they're doing.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we're doing right now as well.
Good.
So,
and you get us that information?
Yeah, I'll get all that to you guys. So, but that's that's the two different ways that we're trying to kind of change our method a little bit.
Right.
For the fundraising piece of that. So it's not just the barbecue, but we're not going to stop doing it. We like doing it. It's my jam.
Good.
Kind of thing. We were Best of Clay for 2025.
Nice.
On a barbecue. So, we'd love to do whatever.
Good.
We like to cook. And
that's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
So you're at the Fall Festival, huh?
Yes.
Good.
Usually right at the corner of 17 and Kingsley.
Okay.
Actually is where we're set up. I'm not sure where they're going to have us this year, but it's typically somewhere right in that area.
Okay.
All the food is along Kingsley Avenue. So she said she was looking for a wedding dress.
Yeah, she's actually here to pick up one.
Did you ask her if she needed catering?
I will. See. Hey, but you'll know something? To get a something in here with a name, and also I want a banner to put on the out on our fence.
Okay.
I've been trying to get banners on these fences.
Yeah. What kind of banner you want?
Just whatever fits on that fence. It tells what you do, and hey, come support. It's for you.
Okay.
And then and what I want to do is I want to start seeing how many people use it, because ultimately I could rent out some of those fences, but I need about 3 or 4 to test, and you're perfect.
Okay. So I got one we put on there.
Bring it, and we'll get it set up, put zip ties on it and everything.
Okay.
I'm not only impressed with what you've built, but I'm impressed with how you build it. And to stay God-centered as it gets bigger I know it's hard, because I know that ego can get Satan wants so easy to tell, man, you're doing a great job. Look at you. Look at all these people. Man, and gradualism feeds.
And it's hard.
It's very hard.
Because we've had some
people coming up, man, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
And we've had some great publicity. 2017, we were, what do they call it? Community champions with the Jaguars.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they put us on the big screen up there. We did all that. I was telling him when you stepped away, we're Best of Clay 2025.
Yeah, I saw that on the website.
The food, yeah. And then, I don't know, last summer, I don't know if you were at 1122 last summer when they did the Armor of God.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that barbecue guy up there?
Was it you? It was good.
And I've had a ton of people. I've had a ton of people from that reach out to us and go, oh yeah, so I mean, crazy
So does-
stories with that.
So does Joby get some of your barbecue?
He's had it. He's had. He likes the wings.
He likes the wings.
He-
You
he-
do wings too.
Do wings. He loves the wings. The wings are very popular.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of people that like the wings and
Who
they'd be like-
taught you how to cook?
So I've been cooking since I was about 13.
Yeah?
My mom is an old Southern cook. I'm not saying you're old, Mom. I'm just saying you cook like an old OLE.
She'll see this one.
Southern
Yep.
cook, yeah. So, you know, and it just learning. You throw this in there and it's
Yeah.
by taste. And we started
Are you dry rub or wet rub?
dry.
Okay, he's a dry rub, Dave. I like that.
I like it.
I don't like gooey. Like I don't like it. No.
So, so the guy that told you that it was homeless, this works with me
Yeah.
now. You know, we borrowed a smoker, backyard, just made a pork butt, tasted it, said, dude, we could sell this. And that's how that started.
Wow.
I make my own rub, dry rub, which was basically like, that might work. Let's do it all together. Went, yep, that's pretty good. Let's throw it on there and see what happens. So, you know, legitimately, it's, like I said, since I was about 13,
Are you selling your dry rubs?
I'm not.
Let's sell them in here.
Well, we can work on that.
Yeah.
And I made some barbecue sauce today. I'm not big on sauces, but I made some barbecue sauce that is pretty darn
We'll
good.
sell barbecue sauce in here because I do pork. We do taste tests in here all the time.
See, and I should have brought you some.
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, I could
You'll know what's fun. One Saturday, we'll get you out here for donations and make sure Vintage One puts up a certain amount of monies and the people that come in eat. And I will.
Yeah, I could have because I dropped that food off yesterday.
Yeah,
I should have pulled some
That's
pork
okay.
out of that.
That's
Yeah,
okay. That's
could-
okay. I'll
could work
catch you
on it.
next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be around.
Yeah.
If you had one message to pass on to people for helping others, an encouragement, like what you get out of it, not just monies and the feel good, but I mean that deeper message. What is it to you? I mean, what?
So here's how I view a lot of this, and this is critical to me. If you think about a boat going through the water, okay, that prop spins, propels the boat through the water, and then it makes waves that erode the shore or whatever. There's an impact somewhere else
Right.
from those waves. So our relationship, so our service, the things that we do to reach out to people, those things should completely be a byproduct of our relationship with the Lord. Totally. Just like that relationship of the prop to the water. The wake is the ministry that should happen. So for me personally, I want to be, my approach to it is I need to make sure that I'm spending time with him. Because if I'm good here, then everything outside of that's going to happen.
And what do you know? It's biblical. It says if we tie in here,
Yeah.
everything
Well,
else.
I don't have to go, I need to go serve today.
Yeah. I
It's
serve
a
every minute.
It's a natural outflow.
I wake up and I'm sure a lot of people do this. I don't think I'm unique, but when I get dressed, I feel as if I'm getting suited for battle.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird. Now, I mean, back in the day, it was pants and slacks when I was in corporate, but today this is my gear, and I'm girding my loins. And before I walk out that day, I love the third set prayer. God, I offer myself to you to do with me as you will. Relieve me from the bondage of self that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties. I get to pray for that. Take away my difficulties so that others may know thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May do your will always. Amen.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. And then they taught me this. It was all this simple stuff. If I put AA first, which means God, if I put God first, everything else that is second will be first class.
Oh, yeah.
That's freaking beautiful. And it took me a while. Okay, if I put God first, everything else will be, and I began to apply it, even though I didn't believe it. They said, Brett, I don't care if you believe it. I don't care if you trust it. I don't care if you like it. Are you willing to do it?
Yeah.
And I said, F you, I'll do it. And that's exactly how I started.
So we change our heart two ways, right? We pray it into where we want it to be, or we go out and we do until it changes. And it'll change if we do. It's like listening to country music. Who likes country music? Nobody likes it when they first hear it. They're like, are you kidding me? But the more I listen to it,
Yeah. I love it now.
the more you start listening, the more you start liking it, right? So, I mean, it's
and what you put in your mind comes out. Travis Tritt was my number one. And I promise you, I think I've lived just about every song. I didn't hit me till on TikTok. I play a lot of music while I'm talking to people at home and I'm being goofy. And I was playing Travis Tritt and I was listening to that song. I was like, yeah, I've been there. Hadn't had a girl running out of a gas station yet, but I've run out of a biker bar saying, Dave, start the truck. I had bikers chasing me. I could have used Jovi's big arms that night.
Yeah.
That was a long ride of waiting to see if they were going to catch up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, there's a few of those songs coming to mind that I'm thinking, really? You might not need to say that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about relationship, right? Everything flows out of my relationship with him needs to flow out that way. One of my other favorite verses is Matthew 10:7. It says, as you go, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the leper. As you go. So
Means as you walk through life.
do I have to find an organization to partner with and go minister with them? No. When you come out of Walmart
You minister.
and the dude's sitting there and, he can't walk because he can't carry his groceries because he's got do it. And then be available for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that I do frequently is I'll go in the same, and my wife's like, so what does it matter? I'll go in the same gas station all the time.
Right.
Because at some point in time, there's going to be an opportunity.
Right.
Right? Might not be today. Might not
You're
be
right.
tomorrow. Might take a year. But there's going to be an opportunity. Right? So I do that frequently. I'll go to the same restaurant.
Are you addicted to it? Are you addicted?
Yeah.
We get addicted to something.
I am. But it's also whenever it becomes that second nature.
Yeah.
Right? That's when to me, it's really good.
It's almost like you get in
Not even
that
thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're not even
It's just
thinking
that.
about it. It just happens. Yeah. So
Do you see God move?
all the time.
I mean, I'm not like visually, but can you?
Sometimes. Visually, sometimes.
Okay. David, something just happened here recently, and I told David about 9 weeks before, I said, I see ripples. And that's funny you said wakes, because I always call them ripples.
Yeah.
And I can't always see God. It's almost like, shoo, and I'm like, I see him moving, and all of a sudden, there was miracles that happened here recently for me to pay off some debts that was purely divine.
Yeah.
And David was like, whoa. I think it's about the third time.
Yeah.
Because David didn't grow up really, spiritually Christian. He was in the Catholic world, and nothing wrong with that. But, as long as they're teaching the Bible. And he's seen some things with my spiritual walk, because I am a B-rated Peter in a lot of ways. I will fight for God in a heartbeat. And there's been times in my life I denied the heck out of him. I don't know that guy, And so, and I love the story of Peter when he gets on the water and when his eyes are on Jesus, he's good. When his eyes and that's all I need to know. All I need to make sure is my eyes aren't wandering.
Well, and when he got back to Jesus, the anxiety went away.
Yep.
He didn't calm the storm. The storm was still going on around him.
I like that. And I forgot the part that he was across the lake. It was like bang.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe he just
don't know
walked.
it. Maybe it was just calm. It's just done. And maybe it's one of the things like, whoa, how did I get here?
You know what I love doing? I love looking at people that are not necessarily believers of any kind of a higher power and go, listen, just ask. My son was 8 years old, and I used to always sing the old rugged cross, and I've told the story a few times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love
You're
that
going
song.
back you're going back a minute
old
now.
school.
Oh,
yeah. And one night I was leaving the room. Him and his brother slept in bunk beds. And he was like, Dad, he said, I'm gonna talk to Jesus. I'm like, what do you say to that? And I was like,
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I said. I was, well, son, just talk to him. I shut the door. I'm like, that was stupid. He was a little chubby kid back then. He came bebopping out the next morning, getting his breakfast, his cereal. And he's like, I talked to Jesus last night. Just as like it was, it happened. That young man talked to Jesus. And from that moment on, I'm not saying it was a blink of an eye, but
Things were different.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was absolutely different. He stayed down at First Baptist. The only reason we stayed through Brunson last 6, nothing to get wrong against Brunson or anything, but for the last 6 months was Zach had been reading the Bible for 4.5 years, and wanted to get his goal that I still have. And man, when you get a child in that book early, you don't have to teach.
Yeah.
The teacher teaches.
Yeah.
You just got to get out of the way.
Yeah.
He doesn't need me to teach my child.
Getting out of the way.
Get out of the way. Teach that. Let that child learn that all things are possible, and it can be without daddy.
Yes.
This is and I really did this from the time they were young. I taught them to have a personal relationship, however God revealed himself.
Right.
I didn't say those words, but my point was I'd get them in the Bible and walk away and let God, hey man, if he is who we believe he is, I always ask people this. You talk about this big mighty God, and yet you're micromanaging everything I do.
Yes.
You know, like in your business, what you got to do? Oh, no, you got to cook the meats on time. You know, but
Yeah.
God says, I got this. Make it a mess and watch me make it beautiful.
Right.
And that's why, like this podcast, we don't, you should see us the first 2 weeks. We know the hell we were doing, man.
Yeah.
We still don't. You were in here, we were scrambling around, and there's a man that has gone back to sobriety off of this. We lost a man. Episode 7, Matt Trish was an addict, and he's now dead.
Wow.
And this thing's beginning to take shape, and we're in a spiritual warfare in this world.
Always.
And this is a gun, and I don't know how big it is yet. I don't know how big it's gonna get, but I'm willing.
Yeah.
And the more people that he brings in, like you, when you go watch some of these episodes, there are people who are gone. I mean, they're lost. There's other people who are just good business people. It has nothing to do with spirituality necessarily. Right. But you and I would sit there and you would see that spiritual warfare. Yeah. And with Matt Trish's episode, we were both in the program, and I was trying to pull, and he was all into his own head and what he thought. Then he got back into church. Nothing wrong with church, but for an alcoholic, what you said, it's not the church. Some of the people in the church will, well, God will save you. No, God will save you, but he wants you to do your part.
Right.
There's a part I have to do. Some's real small. Yep. Be still and know that I'm God. Right. That's a part. Try to let myself be still in the storm. I'd rather be running and fighting. But God,
I can't be still when it ain't even a storm.
God has me still. He is not forcing, because he'll allow me to do whatever he wants. I have free will. Right. But if I choose to go a certain path right now, I've got to sit in this mess right now.
Yes.
And not be afraid.
Yes.
And that.
So I was talking to somebody about that kind of thing the other day. Is, a lot of people do godly things.
Yep.
And that's great. Did God tell you to do that?
Yep.
Because God, and I'm not coming against those good works.
Yep.
Because we were created to do good works according to 2 Peter or 1 Peter, whatever.
Yeah.
It's in Peter. We were created. Might not even be in Peter. I don't even know.
It don't matter. It's in the Bible.
It's in the book. It's in the book somewhere. That we were created to do good works. That's why we're here.
Right.
But a lot of people go, well, the guy had a flat tire, so I stopped and helped him. That's awesome. That's a godly thing. And we can get caught up in the busyness of godly stuff.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm so busy doing great things. Okay, but did God tell you to do those things?
Yeah.
Because if we can slow down and listen to what he's telling us to do, he might have us doing something totally different than what we thought.
Does God speak? Do you hear him in your voice? I know you hear. I know we hear him through people. Often God speaks through other people. Joby, I get a lot from him.
I don't know that I hear him in my voice, but I do hear. I mean, he does. He will speak to me.
Like when you get those intuitive thoughts. I mean,
yeah, no, there's an audible voice.
Yeah.
Sometimes with me for sure. I mean, I can be thinking about something, or, when I say thinking about something, kind of in a prayerful thought.
Yeah.
Like
the meditation part of pray and meditate.
Yes.
We forget that meditation.
Pray without ceasing is just a conversation. It's an all day conversation. Yeah. So, I can get to the point where, I'm getting up for the day and I'm like, okay, I got to do this, this, and this. And I wonder if I should do, and he'll say, well, you need to rearrange it this way. Right. And it's not always like step by step, but it's that guiding, it's the whatever. So sometimes I do hear an audible voice. And sometimes I absolutely do not. Yeah. And Joby talks about mat carriers, right? Mm. And there's a couple. I mean, we got to have mat carriers, but if I've got 5 men in my life that I consider to be godly men that are chasing Jesus, that are doing this stuff, and I have something I can't figure out, and I ask all 5 of them, they might not all say exact the same thing, but there's going to be a theme that comes out.
How do you build that personal relationship with other men? Because I don't have it. I mean, I don't have it. I mean, my trust level is just.
Yeah. Well, that's a hurdle, but I'm in 2 men's groups.
Yeah. Right? That's my problem. Is like every time I go to men's group, like unspokens. I'm like, I am so sick of unspoken. Speak. I go to AA, man. Speak what you're talking.
Well, yeah, no. Well, and I can tell you, one men's group I go to on Monday mornings is, that's a commitment we've made to each other.
Yeah.
Right. It's
brutal honesty.
It's not going to be no unspoken. It's going to be brutally honest. I mean, if you're being a dumbass, I'm going to tell you.
Right? Yeah. I'm thinking of this woman. I'm literally in this.
Yep. And then I have a Monday night group that I go to that is started out as being former addicts and drugaholics.
We are.
Right.
More.
Right.
More.
Right. And so, there's that element
Yeah.
of, listen, we all been in AA.
Yeah.
You're going to shoot straight or we're going to see it. I mean, you can't.
So you get me
you
then.
can't, you can't con an old con
No.
kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
there's that group. Now that one's evolved into some other stuff, but it's good. But the foundation of it was very much of, we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
And one of the things that and then I have 3 other guys. 2 of them came out of the Monday night group, and the third one is actually a buddy of mine from college. That we sat down one day and we said, "Listen, these are things I'm struggling with, right here. I'm gonna make a plan. If I wake up and I start to struggle with this, I'm gonna call. But the other thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk, not text, talk
Right.
to at least 2 of you guys every day. And and part of that is I'm gonna
Accountability.
yeah, and and accountability too gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Accountability should be keeping us account to our ability.
Ooh, that's good and so simple, and yet I've
Right.
never thought of it that way.
Keeping an account to your ability.
Right.
I say, but the other thing too is that Matt carry it's that, hey Brett,
Right.
how was your day? Did you stick to the plan that
Right.
we have written out in exchange? Because we wrote out a plan and we
Right.
traded it, right? And it's hard to do that. You got to, the Bible says don't cast your pearls before swine. So you got to figure
Right.
out who you hang out with at a bunch of pigs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yep.
and don't hang with them or don't put that stuff out there. So it takes a little time to get to that place. My Monday morning group, I've been going to that since 11/22 opened in Fleming, since they opened in Clay County. And 1 or 2 of those guys in that, I reached out to Todd. I'm like, dude, I'm going through some stuff. I need to talk to somebody. So he sent me to a guy, and that guy is, he's been there. So that relationship started just me and him. And then I started coming to group, and that kind of a thing. So it's it takes some,
Because it's so hard for men to open. I know women too,
is.
but it's so hard for men, especially if they're in our age group and have been jaded.
Yeah.
It is you want to so bad, and it's just
Yeah.
like, can I trust you? Because I mean, like my sponsor when I first got sober, you sit down and do a 4-step, and you tell everything.
Right.
I mean everything. And
Right.
so even when he passed, and I had to look to get another sponsor, I was like, I'm gonna tell another man,
yeah.
and I haven't.
Yeah. Well, Joby says bad things grow in the dark.
So true.
It's so true.
So
we got to
freaking
be able
true.
to bring that stuff to light, even if it's just 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a group, but even if it's just 1 or 2 guys. I mean, he talks about the mat carriers. That mat carrier sees everything that's on your mat,
It's funny you say that because
and they're willing to touch
Right.
and help you out with that.
You're right. It's funny you say that because I always say, listen, they can't. I go in people's rooms mentally, and it's jet black for me, and they can see everything, and they know how to move, they know where it is, and it's their safe space. Whether it be drinking, whether it be alcohol, or it be drugs, sex, whatever, it's just more.
Yeah.
And I hear all the time. I do want to hear you on this. Satan's testing me. Hey, bonehead. Here's the way I understand it. First, he's not omnipresent, so he can't be all things. He can't read my mind, so I don't speak my negatives out loud much.
Right.
I talk to God quietly about my negatives and out loud about my positives.
Right.
I was taught by that by Preacher McCormick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I trust that man, and his life's been good. And sometimes that's all it takes. And then as I grew, then Bible verses began to validate.
Right.
I was searching for it, and seek and ye shall find. I love that verse. There's no fanciness to it. It's seek and ye shall find.
Yeah.
He didn't put no parameters around that.
Yeah.
And then how big can I let my brain go? And we talk about becoming godlike. Yeah. We better be ready for a 4th dimension. There's
Right.
a whole nother level that we can walk into. I watch Joby. Everybody watches Joby. But that man right there, there's a spiritual warfare that he walks through carrying a big ass sword.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really, they love him for, I'm not pounding churches, but it's church. Let's take Joby out of it. It's churches. Churches love that man in the pulpit. And I was blessed growing up. I lived 3 doors down from a manly man that was our pastor. And then he had one of those sermons he always regurgitated, which was good. It was about gradualism. And I have watched me fall so easily through gradualism. And I watched him fall, and it ruined our church. And it's now a school. And there was 800 people that were God-centered. And then half of them went down to First Baptist, and then nobody wanted to talk to each other. And then First Baptist started butting heads, and now Heath came in, and then it got where it went. And it's all these buildings. Well, what it is, it's not the people, it's the buildings, and it's not even the leader. Joby could get in that mess. Even living for God, bad things can happen to good people.
Right.
But through it all, if we hold the course, golly, the end result.
Yes.
He's working something in me.
Yes.
He's flexing my muscles for something.
And I think, you know, we're trained in that. I think a lot is, you know, the devil's testing me. And we become so focused on all those things.
Yep.
When the reality is, you know, if we're looking at him and not the storm, we're going to live on a different plane.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to live in almost a different dimension, somewhat, if you will. And what I mean by that is we get so caught up in the test.
Yep.
You ride a motorcycle?
Yes. Not often.
So if any of my guys are listening, they're rolling their eyes
Yeah.
right now because they've
Yeah.
heard this 4 million times, right? And they're like, "Oh my God, here he goes again."
Do it again.
So when you're in the class to learn how to ride a motorcycle,
Yeah.
they teach you to make a U-turn. Did you do that?
Yes, but you have to keep the gas going. Yeah, keep giving it a little gas.
Well, the point is, you have to look where you're going. You have to look where you want to go,
Yeah.
not where you're going. So in that spiritual realm, what are we looking at? If I'm looking at the test, guess what? I'll be in the middle of the test.
Yep.
It's going to be horrible.
It's gonna be test after test because they're all coming.
Well, they're coming anyway.
Yeah,
But the
right.
point is, if I'm looking at the test and I'm caught up in the test and now I'm distracted by the test and I'm not looking up. So if my mind's eye, wherever we look is where we're going to go. The more you thought about drinking, the more you drank.
Yep.
Right?
Mental obsession first.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So in that, you know, when we talk about the test and the enemy's coming at us and he's doing, yeah, sure he is, but he's been doing it forever.
Ever.
So we can either just go, you've been doing this for so long, who cares? Go away.
Yeah.
Or we can just stay focused. We can stay on the course. And as we stay the course, those tests are going to come, but we're going to handle them differently.
You know, I wake up angry a lot, just in a bad mood. It's weird. And yet I've learned it only takes about 5 minutes to pop out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not even out of REM sleep and I can get out of it now because I've done it so long. And I've realized where my joy comes from. And it's going outside, taking 5-10 minutes while I'm stretching and letting God talk to me.
Yes.
I don't even ask questions. I just sit there and listen to the birds and I just be still. And all of a sudden, these nice little thoughts start coming in. You know, ideas and thoughts and business and try this and look at that. And that's been where some of the miracles have come from. And I don't understand it and I don't try to figure it out. Do you? I mean, do you really try?
Listen, I've been doing this long enough, and I finally got smart enough to go, you know, whatever.
My ways are not your ways. My thoughts are
That's
not
it.
your
That's
thoughts.
it.
You
That's
know,
it.
and
That's
I
it.
don't. The people that sit there and talk about the why, I don't spend time with.
Who cares?
Who cares? You're here. Tell me how to get there. That's what give me the how. I trained a lot. There was 40, 50 wood use stores. And so in sales, we had acronyms and just, you know, there's things, the way to teach the ideal sales cycle. And we called it feeding the beast. And if you didn't stay consistent in doing that, then the message, the one voice message that the Bible tries to teach, it gets convoluted. If all of a sudden I start sharing what I think's right and I change Brett's message, well, now the story of furniture and, you know, and on a much bigger scale, you know, religion is a tool that trips so many people up because just what you said, they're focused on the test. Oh, look at Susie up there raising her hands. I saw her at the bar. Like, who cares?
You know why you saw her at the bar last night?
Because you were there. And at least you can remember. I wouldn't even remember. I want to remember this. I want to remember that what I understand, if there's a higher being, there's lower beings. And they sow the world. They don't test me. They sow the world that if I so choose, that life is there for me,
right?
Of immediate gratification, and I'm allowed to do this. And I can get away with that. And I can do. They're not forcing it and tell, Brett, I'm not that important,
right?
And we get such an ego, even in Satan testing us. That guy don't even know my name. Right. I got some one-eyed minion that's a private down at the bottom that got bumped down that's tripping me up. Right. This man's hanging out with Joby and the presidents because he can't be in all places at all times. Right. And so it takes him, and I love that. And I love that. I'm going to let a one-eyed minion trip me up today. Yeah. And so I call my people.
Right.
And it helps me. Now, I'll tell you this. I joke about the one-eyed minion. I have nothing but utmost respect for that third of those angels that fell. They sat with God. These are brilliant beings. Yeah. And they have spent 3,000 years learning the 8 or 9 different characteristics of a human and how to trip us up.
Right.
And who am I to think I can walk that line and hold God's line? I can't. I tried it. I walked that fence line.
Well, that's just being in His presence. That take care of that.
Yep.
You just stay on the right side of the fence, and you're good. There's a couple of verses that come to mind when you talk about warfare. I think it's Ephesians 2:6 says, "You are seated in heavenly places." That's present tense.
Ephesians 2:6.
I think it's Ephesians 2:6.
I'll look it up.
It says, we are seated, or you are seated in heavenly places. It's a present tense word.
It is.
So what that means is, and some people are going to look at me and go, whatever.
Who cares?
Okay, we're in two places at the same time. We're seated in heaven right now, and we're seated right here right now.
Yeah.
Right? Jesus, when He did the Lord's Prayer, He said, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." He started praying from heaven to earth. Most of the time we're like, "God, this traffic's going to make me nuts today.
Yeah.
Can you help me?" We start praying from earth to heaven. And that's, because the disciples would teach us how to pray. Well, if we understand that we have access every day, every moment, because we're seated there and we're here, and we understand that we need to pray from heaven to earth, not earth to heaven, then that warfare piece to me becomes much different because I'm not focused on what's happening here. My mindset is God conscious versus sin conscious.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm going to go where I'm looking, then I want to be God conscious.
Yeah.
Is all this other stuff going to happen around me? Sure. But what difference is it going to make if I start with "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name"? I'm worshiping.
Yeah.
I'm in that presence. I start there. And you know as well as I do, if we miss that morning time, the day's different.
Give me 3 days, I'm missing it.
It's just different.
It's different.
Even the first day, it's just different.
It is. Even my I can always tell my driving first. Are you too? I mean, I don't want to let that guy over. And then I punish myself. Like if I'm going fast, I will force myself into the slow lane and I put it on cruise at 2 miles over the speed limit. I hate it. And it's like my punishment. I have to sit behind grandma.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
I have an old van,
Yeah.
right? And ultimately, I need to get a new van.
Yeah.
Because it's running out. And it's got my business wrap on it.
Right.
So it's old. It was raining.
Hang on one second. David, go check on those ladies. They need to pick up a dress. Sorry, guys. And I thought we were going to be 10 minutes, but we're going to be a little bit longer. Go ahead.
And when it was raining one day, the contact on the horn.
Cut through.
In my driveway. Contact on the horn was just going.
Oh, no.
So I went out there and just cut it because it was raining.
Right.
I had to go somewhere. I didn't want to fool it. I just went like cut it real quick.
Right.
Right. Well, it's 2 wires. I intentionally have not hooked it back up because I would be on that horn with my business
I
wrap
love
on the
it.
van. All this.
That's
Jesus
why I don't
stuff.
wrap my truck. It was the exact reason. Maybe I need to undo my horn.
Yeah. Well, I have other cars that have the horn and they do that, but in the truck, I'm like, so traffic will get me for sure.
Is your family involved in this?
My wife is involved on a consultative
Gotcha.
role.
They're good at that, aren't they?
Hey, I need. What do you think about this? And blah blah blah. And my kids, we started the Thanksgiving thing because I wanted my kids to see something different.
Yeah.
So they helped out in the beginning, and they get it. They understand what I do. They've been parts of it, but they're not vested in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you see it going to other towns and everything? I mean, if you
Listen, if we can get to that place, I would love to go. Part of the vision I had.
bye, ladies.
Bye, ladies. Part of the vision I had at one time was to have several different food trucks, right? And we would go set up in Volusia County or
Yeah.
Putnam County is a little bit closer to
Yeah.
Volusia. We set up in Putnam County, and the money we raised from that food truck would go back into Putnam,
Yeah.
right? Kind of thing. And so, yeah, I mean, I would love for it to go.
I look forward to talking with you because I actually have some pastor friends in St. Augustine, African American, and they are working on buying up land because a lot of African American areas, because the money's coming off the coast,
Yeah.
are eating up some of that land, and they're working on with people coming from out of prison. It's called Nehemiah's Project.
Okay.
And it's a whole bunch of African American pastors in that community, and he is actually head of the St. John's, like when they come out of prison.
Yeah.
Or out of jail, he places them.
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my counselor when I first got sober. It wasn't AA or anything. I went to a rehab, and he was talking to me. He spotted me in 2 seconds, dude. He sat there, and he was a little old chubby little guy. He put his glasses on. We were sitting outside in the sun. He wasn't even looking at me, and he pegged everything about. I mean, he was a player from day one. he's been a counselor for 30 years. And the first 5 years he had cocaine in his pocket. I mean, he was one of us.
Yeah.
And his story.
Well, and they make the best.
And you know what he told me? One of the greatest things that changed my life. He said, Brett, because I'm a street kid. He said, Brett, change your game, not your hustle.
Right.
And that's what God does. God doesn't want us to change our hustle. Change our game. He wants to change our game, not our hustle. He wants the speed and the energy and the skill sets he's given you.
Right. He's put that in us.
He's put it in us. You wake up every day with a purpose and a passion.
Yeah.
My energy level is just, I get 3 hours of sleep. And I'm like, all right, let's go. 4 o'clock, I'm up. Let's go. And
I cannot do that, brother. I don't have that.
well, yeah, but what am I doing with it?
Yeah.
Am I spending that extra time with God? And it's been a journey for me. I've had to do it in my stretching and everything. Yeah. I've integrated it in, but I know this.
And we have to be aggressive about it.
We do.
Right. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven is a violent kingdom and the violent take it by force. Now,
I've never read that verse.
Yeah, I think it's in John, where he's actually talking about the law and the prophets until John, but now the kingdom of heaven is a violent kingdom, the violent take it by force. And what that means is, it can, obviously that one can be mistaken. But what that means is for me personally, in my everyday life, if I'm going to be tuned in, I have to be aggressive about that. There's parts of my day that's untouchable.
Yeah.
Right.
That you just set aside for you and God.
Untouchable. First thing in the morning. I say that.
Understood.
Usually on Mondays, I go to my men's group on Monday morning, and I may not get back to it.
Right.
I did get some time to it today before I came to see
Right.
you. Then, of course, my phone blows up.
Right.
That's what happens, But it's one of those deals that we have to be violent and aggressive against the enemy in our soul.
Yeah.
Right. That wants to come against us having those times to do those things. We have to be violent and aggressive against distractions.
100%.
Right.
Even financial, even doing good distractions.
Everything. So anything that comes against whatever that time is, that for me, that time that feeds that, or that feeds that in me, I have to be, and it's just, it's a flesh, it's a spirit. Yeah, it is, but it's different.
Yeah.
Right. Because I could be distracted this morning by calls about, food coming in for our outreach this weekend.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's a good thing.
Doing God's work.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what he told me to do.
Yeah.
However, if I answer all those calls and don't, and mess with my phone during that time, then I don't get the time with him I should be. Now the enemy's used it to distract me, and I'm not where I should be. We have to be violent and aggressive about those things in our world. That's what I feel like. It's not violent and aggressive towards you or towards somebody else who's not doing something I believe to be right, or, more. It's not what it's about. It's about me being violent and aggressive. The kingdom, when it talks about the kingdom, most of the places when it talks about the kingdom in the New Testament, it's talking about where we live right here, right now.
Right.
You'll inherit the kingdom of God. That's not necessarily talking about heaven. It's talking about, another passage. I don't know exactly where it's at. I could find it really quick because I was looking at it last week. It talks about where it's the vine growers, where he sent the people to get the harvest.
Right.
And they didn't get it. And they sent the son, they killed the son, yada, yada, yada. Well, later it goes, he will take away that from them and give it to the people who are producing the fruit of the kingdom. So the fruit of the kingdom is what he's going for. That might not come through the Christians.
Yeah.
He's going to give it to other people who are still doing those things, right? So I have to be aggressive against things in me that's going to take away from the fruit of the kingdom.
You do a lot of self-maintenance.
I do.
I can tell.
I do.
That's what I take away is to maintain this kind of a drive and a passion. You have to, like I do it in business. I have my self-maintenance. I go get 3 hours of fishing by myself, not answering my phone. And it's so easy for us to do it in life, and we forget to do it in our spiritual life.
Yeah. I don't want to say it comes natural for me, but there's a drive in me towards that. So I feel like for me, it's not as difficult as it might be.
Well, I think you built a habit though, didn't you? I mean, did you love it right up front? Did you just have a passion for it?
Well, when I got saved, right, I went hard and I'm all or nothing kind of guy. I went hard and fast towards it because I had been hard and fast the other way. And in that, he hooked me. Yeah. Right. And so, sometimes.
Would you say you're addicted?
Oh, absolutely.
So this is what I believe. I believe I have an addictive personality.
We all do.
Yeah.
To some extent.
To some extent. I think a lot of us can heighten it. And I believe that all I have done is Christ is my addiction.
Yeah.
Now I may go about it a different way than the AGs or independent. Sure. I definitely go about it a different way. I'm like you. My way is a little more awkward, but it's biblical. And I mean, it says, "Go ye into all the nations."
Well, and we say it's awkward, but I think the world thinks it's awkward. He doesn't think it's awkward.
Thank you.
He really doesn't. This is the way.
But we have to walk not with people thinking I'm a knucklehead. And what are you doing on Post Street? They think I'm trying to be some weirdo walking on Post, and I'm going. My brother's out there.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I've walked the street. I know. I mean, when I was in gangster rap, I sat with men in Atlanta, that were way up the line, and they never had a daddy in their life. And I remember doing food baskets for these gangster guys, and they ate it up in 5. They had never had a basket in their hotel room waiting on them, and I had more waters. And there was these big old boys, and they were just little kids. They were scared because I learned it a long time ago. Wherever there's anger, there's fear.
Yes.
I haven't found many places that are angry.
Right.
That you're either afraid of losing something you got or afraid of not getting something you want. It's one of the two.
Right.
And
That's
I can divide. That was AA. It was all taught to me, but it helps me divide what is it that I'm trying to get to. Is it selfish? Is it? Does it benefit others? And when you filter what you do through all that, I mean, you're touching people, you're feeding people, and you're giving them hope. And it's a Christ thing. I know you don't want to take the credit for it, but it is. I mean, it does take you to shine the light on the biblical side of it.
The disciples broke the bread.
The disciples broke the bread. You are a living, walking disciple, and that is an honor to be sitting beside. It's sort of neat. I'm gonna go away today, and I chew on these all day, and then I watch them 4 or 5 times. Some to learn a little bit. What'd you miss, Brett? Be a better interviewer. Sure. But more importantly, there's 7 things you've said in here, and I'll tell you what, I will list them on the thing, the 7 things that I've gotten. They're not all written here. I just heard them. I'm broken in a lot of ways, like all of us are. We're humans. But I didn't have the answers of how to get back. Yeah. If I am broken, then what's the way back? Well, it's in the Bible, but I don't want to hear from that idiot because I know you, and I've seen you at the titty bar, and I've seen you that, I got stuck in the like.
How'd you see him there?
Huh?
How did you see him there?
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the point is, it's both of us.
Oh,
it's
100.
Not poking at you for being there.
No, not at all.
We're both in that condition.
Absolutely. But see, the blindness of me is I saw him there. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. He's not. And the judgmental, and Satan just cackles.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He just cackles. I have looked in my house with my daughter before and go, Satan's cackling right now. Yeah. He loves what's happening. Yeah. He to break up the family, to break up the intimacy between 2 men, that's platonic and everything. I mean, that's hard to put together. Yeah. And Satan has a world that, now is shifting. Now he's gotten the whole family dynamic just totally off kilter. Yeah. And you got women and men not knowing who should fit what. And we are built different for a reason. It's beautiful. It's not ugly. No. It's beautiful. Yeah. And like that one verse, I love the one where they go, the men, the old independent Baptists were all like, the wife should submit to the husband. Have you read the whole passage?
Yeah.
Have you read the whole passage?
You got to die, brother.
You got to die. Yeah. You have to die for this. Yes. I mean, this is like life and death, to lead. Yeah. And it also talks about if you do these things, the honorable wife and woman that you'll get. I didn't always get that. Right. I was just living for the business and life and going. I was traveling, and you get back home, and the dynamic's different.
Yes.
And then Satan gets in, and can you get back to God, and can you get back to keeping Him first? And man, I hope people never go there, because going there and having to come back out of it,
getting there's easy.
Getting there is easy. AA says some funny things. We don't poke fun at church, because in the big book it says, be quick to see where others are right. Talking about clergymen. And I mean, it's very fascinating. We do not have the only, it's in the book. We do not have the only way. We're not saying this is the only way. Be quick to see where others are right. Yeah. And I have seen, wasn't supposed to be said. I forgot where I was going. So it just wasn't there. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your time, but more importantly, I want to thank you for touching people. I mean, we sit here and drive through this day and do our lives, and we're all focused on us, and you have found a way to reach out to others and make a living in doing that, and it encourages me. I don't know about Vintage One. I'm going to put it out here for all the dealers as well. I know there'll be some that want to be involved in delivering, but you can count me in.
Okay.
And I'm in. I'm going to grab my daughter, and I'll be a regular delivery person.
Awesome.
So I would have a blast doing that.
Yeah. It's good
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I look to having you back. Anytime you got something you want to talk about, even, and this has nothing to do with these guys, but even using this equipment to do like a little 5-minute shot that you ever want to do a 2-3 minute shot that you want to put on Facebook or something, we can hook this up in no time. So if you want to start a podcast about yours, I'll get you a key and you can come in here and do your own podcast. And there's a whole range of things that can be done. What's your one last thing? I got one question I've been wanting to ask. Do you have a greatest story of never thought that one would, and there they sit?
I
know you have a many of them, but I mean, and it's hard to pick, and it can just be one comes in your mind, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So I mean, just people, and okay, so don't pick one. Just people.
So the guy that works with me now, the transition that he's come through. I mean, he was in the woods. He was homeless. I mean, straight up homeless, right over here. We call it Ace Hardware. That's where I found him. I go walking in there, and he went from there to other sites to this, and now he's married.
Did he have spiritual when he came out of the woods?
He did not. His wife has always been pretty after it, but he's doing so well now. Of course, you hit that rock bottom. He's got a brain tumor, right? But he's got diagnosed March was a year. He's doing great. He just to see how far he's come. And
have they gone in to get the tumor or anything, or can they get it?
Oh, so the story on that was he was out doing some yard work with a lady he worked with, and a branch hit his hand. He thought he broke his hand, so he went to the hospital, which we will not name.
Right.
And roll my eyes at that.
Know which one it is, though.
Yes. And they said, your hand's not broken. Your blood pressure is 209/170. Go home.
209/170. Go home.
Go home. And my wife, who works for Baptist Hospital.
You can say that one.
She said, we had an event that weekend, and he wasn't coming because I'm like, no, you're not coming out there with me like that.
Right.
Plus he didn't want to because his hand was hurt pretty bad. And or it's bruised, I guess. And he was like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, no, that's fine. It's not good.
Right.
So my wife took him. She actually works in the neuro-oncology department at MD Anderson.
Okay.
So that was on a Thursday that he went to the one hospital, and then Friday she took him to get his blood pressure checked again, and she took him down there and did her thing, and that was on a Friday. On Tuesday he was in surgery.
Wow.
They got most of it, but he's in chemo now and radiation and doing all of his stuff. And every time he goes to the doctor, they tell him, man, there's nothing there. I'm like, you didn't need an x-ray for that. I could have told you that. Could have told you there ain't nothing between his ears. And all his equipment for that. But he's a good dude. And just the growth and where he's come from is.
Are you humbled?
I am.
Yeah.
They're family now.
Yeah.
To us. And just when I look back, it's just hard to believe some of the different things that have come about. I mean, I got one of the kids in my classroom that was like, dude, he was just
never gonna make it.
He's never gonna make it. He's a youth pastor now, and I'm like,
wow.
I have other, I got some young ladies that are in bad places, but they're, they reach out and say, hey, I want to get in church. Can you help me out? I'm like, of course. And then there's other ones that are leading worship at different places.
What's the first thing you tell somebody when they call and they're just broken?
Depends on what they ask.
Yeah, I thought so.
Like
the girls. I mean, because the reason I say that is that's a separate sex, and so you have to be very careful. You're past. So I'm getting the ugliest.
Trust me, my mat carriers have been like, "What are you doing?"
I have people that ask me that,
and one of them said to me one day, "This is well, didn't you hear what?" Joby just preached on, and, honestly looked at him, and he might be watching, honestly looked at him and said, man, I don't care what Joby says. I don't answer to Joby.
That's right. There's
no way I'm going to tell this girl she's got to find another way to get to church when on Saturday night she's dancing and on Sunday morning she wants to be in the church.
That's
right. I'm going to do what I got to do because I got to answer for why I didn't do that, right? Now, granted, I'm not in this tight discipleship situation with her.
Right.
I'm helping her get in. I'm helping because she asked me
Introducing her to females and
Yes, and
right.
she asked me for help, and so
Right.
you know I'm gonna help her. And you know,
What Satan
I
means for
don't-
good, God will make good.
I don't go pick her up.
Yep.
We meet.
Yep.
We meet at the church. You know, that kind of thing. She was one of my favorite kids.
Yep.
She has a horrible story or wonderful story, depending on how you look at it.
Powerful testimony.
Powerful testimony. You know, and she's doing what she's doing now because it pays the bills.
Yeah.
You know, she's trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
She's trying to go back to school and some other things.
Who
and
am I to judge?
Abs-
Who am I to
Yes,
judge?
I don't need to know right from
I don't
wrong.
need to know right from wrong.
Yeah.
And I
so-
don't need to judge where you make your money from, because if you are seeking, God will take care of all of it.
Absolutely.
All of it.
Without-
if you truly
without
seek it.
question.
If not, now 5 years from now, if you're still in that, I got questions.
Yeah.
You know, are we really asking? Are we really? Because I find, I can act like I'm looking for God's guidance, and
Yeah.
it's really mine.
Yeah.
Where do you get your greatest wisdoms from? Is it from the guys that you hang out with, or is it from the quiet time in the Bible?
For me, it's the quiet time in the Bible.
Yeah, something told me that.
And the guys I hang out with, they're pretty good too. We can bounce
Yeah, I
stuff
understand.
around, and you know, they'll look at me and go, "Dude, don't be a dumbass. Stop.
Yeah,
You know what? Why didn't you call me? Why are you here in this situation? Why have you? You know what I mean? So, and that's good. And listen, they've come to man. I've learned a lot from AA and never
Yeah.
went to a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, it's some of the best wisdom I have gotten. You know, you'll know this. You got to keep your side of the street.
Oh hell yeah, I know that one all the way.
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
I don't worry about nobody else's.
Nobody,
side of the
I ain't
street.
got no
Worry about mine.
time.
So, you know, those kinds of things that just have really been strong that came
Yeah.
through those guys,
Yeah,
right? But you know, I got saved at 18.
yeah,
I'm an old fart. I've been running this hard, and God has really put some great over the years mentors at different seasons of my life in my
Amen.
life to either teach me how to study, help me know how to study, help me know how to listen, help me know how to get quiet before Him, or help me, or just can look at me and go, "What are you doing?"
You know what I love? I love that God will speak to me in a million different ways. He can get my ear if I really want it.
If we're paying attention,
If I'm paying attention and I'm ready, He'll come
yeah,
every time.
yeah.
They a lot of people, even in AA, will tell you, tie a knot in the rope and hang on.
Yeah.
I'm not that norm. I tell every one of my sponsees, let go.
Yeah.
Because if he is who he says he is, he better catch you. Because that's
Well, and He will.
Well, that's how I started. Now, I was a believer, and I remember sitting there looking at a year and day in prison. My business collapsed, and I had no solutions. Books A Million, he was around. Books A Million was on me on San Jose. I had 3 weeks, and I was going out of business, and I was negotiating with the big wigs from little old me. By the time we got done, we were sitting at Loretta Road. They had flown down from Alabama, and they were paying me 6 figures to buy me out of my contract, which allowed me to open. And then I had to find a store within 30 days on San Jose at the price I got. And San Jose pricing's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I found something for a third of the price, dead on San Jose, and God blessed again. I mean,
Well, and when He catches us, it doesn't always look like we think it should,
no.
or that it will.
No, and I'm failing, by the way. That store will be shutting down. So to the world, it could look like a failure.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Well, listen,
because where's he taking me next?
and we live in a different world.
We do.
We're not of this world, right? So
No.
we live in a different place. So we have to adjust our perspective towards
Yep.
what success is,
There it is.
right? Success is my character development. Success is what's going on here,
Yep.
not necessarily what's going on here. But if this is good,
Yep.
that's going to work itself out.
Yep.
I firmly believe that. So the wisdom piece definitely comes from, you know, just the different people in different seasons
And
in
then
my world.
and then being a small business owner, you also learn the walk with God financially. I mean, because it's this.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
you get 3 weeks or 2 weeks of not doing barbecues, and it can add up. And I
Yeah.
mean, that feeds your family.
yeah.
And so
yeah.
that financial insecurity can kick in quick.
Yes, it can, and it has, and you know, he's kind of yes.
Yep. you know, my thing is I always go like this, and Dave's heard me say this. I go, God's got to figure something out. His company's sucking right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, this is His ministry.
It
I just
is.
get to work it.
it is.
I get to work it. I just get to work it.
I sit in this store on a Saturday when it's packed, and I know he's probably seen this. Well, one thing is if I'm ever talking to a female, especially a vendor or whatever, one of my employees always makes their way around. I don't talk alone, around corn. Things can, how to get
That'd take
misconstrued.
a second.
Oh, gosh. But I have.
Take your daughter with you when you deliver for me.
Oh, I will. Absolutely. No, because I will get put in situations.
Yeah.
I mean, females. And I mean, Satan knows men.
Yeah.
He knows. Listen.
Yeah.
I love this. We're about to end. I love this whole thing. You and I can talk for hours. I love this whole thing about Satan, red pitchfork, and a red guy. He's cracking up at that. He's the sexiest woman, the best business opportunity. The world renowned. I told my wife then when this all came out years ago, when we were all back together, I told her, I said, listen, Satan's fixing to hand me power and money. Dave, did I tell you? Mm-mm. Okay, I told Don Marie. I said, Satan's fixing to hand me power and money. And it was right after that, roofing blew up. I'm not saying that he handed me that money, but it was through that, all of a sudden I got in with the gangsters, and I'm in gangster rap. And I brought in Trick Daddy, who was the biggest drug dealer in Jacksonville. I didn't know. Yeah. But before I knew it, I was sitting with the mayor of Jacksonville, and all of Jacksonville Beach, they were on the news talking about me. I'm in front of them, bullying them around, because there was so much power with these people. Yeah. They didn't want to be seen as racist and everything. And what it really was, we had about 2,000 people coming down, 3,000, and it was TPC weekend. And all my people go, man, Jacksonville racist. I'm like, dude, we're going to bring in 75,000 in this weekend. The TPC is going to bring in about 75 million, or 750 million. Right. It's money. Yeah. And I got so far ahead that I got lost. And then then the mess of getting out of it was because I bought cars with them. I was all intertwined. It was just. And as I was getting out of it and was so frustrated, I never told him or anything, but I kept reminding myself, you walked into it. Yeah. And if you walked into it without God, you can walk out of it, ask him how to. Yes. And he did. He walked me out of it. And financially, I actually was able to protect myself in ways, and physically. They didn't want to let me go. Yeah. They're not, wasn't like the hardcore dudes, but these gangster rappers, they like the money, know, and what we got up to Atlanta, and I'd gotten them noticed because it was the white boy who was rich, and we had a Jewish attorney. We had the whole image, It was the hustle. They were buying. We would get in the van and crack up my little red XL, putting a dip in, and then I went to Atlanta, and we met some of these other artists, and those doors that they talk about in music is absolutely true. I was invited down to Miami on a boat party, because we'd gone up to Atlanta and won some contests. And so some people up in Atlanta, had heard and had this building was going to be an after hours club. It was not going to be a business club, but you can't open clubs in Clay County. But see, my people, we don't pull permits. Yeah. But Clay County came and let me know it ain't happening. So, and that was God. I was about to say that's probably, no, it was God, because I was literally going to open this, and I was so blind. I thought we were going to make money and help God. Yeah, that's how stupid I had got. That's how far ahead I had gotten, and it cost me financially. Yeah. I took a hit.
Well, and sometimes that can happen.
I needed it,
but that's whenever. No, I'm talking about opening that club and helping people. That's when it turns into. Did he tell me to do it?
There it is, and
this is what he told me to do.
And golly, it was right when my sponsor passed away. I had not had another sponsor, so I didn't have anybody to run the idea through, and I just ran with it. Yeah. I don't trust my brain anymore. Yeah, I filter it through other men. I need you to tell me, Brett, that's stupid.
No, exactly.
And I got to trust you.
That's what those groups are about, because absolutely. I mean, they joke around with me in some of those because I've been chasing him for 40 years. I've been digging in Greek. I've been digging in Hebrew. I've been doing stuff. I was a psychology, religion double major in college. I mean,
it's your world.
I can geek out on it pretty quick and easy. And so they joke with me about it. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, but I still think like a dumb guy. Yeah. I still think. So even though I know how to do these things, and even though I dig in it, and I can spit it here left and right, whatever.
Paul said it best.
I'm still human, man. I still need.
Why do I do that which I know not to do, and that which I know to do, I don't do?
Yes. So we need each other. Yeah. We desperately do. The armor of God talks about the breastplate of righteousness, and we all have this image of what that looks like. Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you what it looks like. It's a leather, almost like a girdle type thing. Right. It wasn't this steel shield that Paul's referring to in there. It's because he's looking at the Roman guards, and it's a leather. Like,
Right.
just
Protection.
protection. But it ties in the back.
You have to have somebody else to tie it. You got to have a partner.
And the reference in that is that it protects. It's about character. It's about integrity. It's about, so we need each other.
And trusting that man tied it right.
That's right. So we need to have each other to hold us keep account of our ability to have good integrity, to have good character. And we were never meant to do it alone.
Never.
And that's the problem, is that we get, a lot of times we think
Isolation
as Joby says, I got this.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I've said it a million times.
Yep. Whether I say it out loud or not, we say it a million times.
I'm watching somebody in my family that is, I would consider, way more spiritually sound than myself. And they are blind to what's going on.
Yeah.
Pride.
Yeah.
And they never drank.
Yeah.
They're not drinkers. They're not druggies. They're not me.
Yeah.
They didn't do all the bad things in life. They lived a very good life. And they are walking in the world that I was walking in, just a different way.
It looks different.
And the damage is the same.
Yeah.
The trust issues, the thing, it's the same.
Yeah.
And it rattled me. I thought that alcohol was the worst you could do, but come to find out, passive aggressive can be as spiritually damning as anything out there. I mean, God said, man, I'd rather you be hot or cold. If you're lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. And I remember that. I want to be hot or cold. And so he can smack me upside the head and, hey, Bubba, get back over here. But if I'm lukewarm, he's going to back up.
Yeah.
He's not coming.
Right.
Because I'm not inviting him. I'm not setting the table, for him to come and eat.
It's nauseating to him.
It's nauseating.
Yeah.
He can't he'll spew you out of his mouth. He's going to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm making God throw up.
Right.
That's serious. We just skim right through this thing. And that's something AA taught me. It was just 164 pages. But even where the commas are, the hows, the twos, these guys drop this. And then, so you take that ideology and then go into the Bible.
Right.
And I didn't do that, but for decades. I know that Bible backwards. I mean, a lot of it backwards and forwards. I didn't study it like you. But I knew where to put the felt Jesus. I knew where the lambs were supposed to go. And listen, there were a lot of cute girls down at First Baptist.
That's why we went.
I was the one at the bar on Saturday. I was 275, fighting and then but even though I went to college and career. I was living on my own at 17 on Phillips Highway, Suntree Mobile Home. My trailer is still there.
Wow.
There were 6 of us living in that thing. Hooker to the right, drugger to the left. Yeah. I mean,
What else you need?
I had arrived. Yeah. I was living on my own. I could get my weed brought to my trailer. I mean, we ran the trailer park. There were 6 young boys. Then nobody really messed with us. And I had arrived. And but the undercover cops always spent time in there busting all the hookers on Main Street. Probably some of the girls would probably know us. Because we would drive by and go, she's a cop. Dude, a hooker doesn't wear a bra on Phillips Highway. Yeah. I mean, we were kids. We pulled back around the corner one day, and this big old white van, guys like you, open up the door, and they're all vested up, police. Hey, come here. We all had RX-7s. We walk over there, and they're like, you ever mess with our bus again, we're taking you to jail. Yes, sir. And they would park right by our trailer because they could see the road where that gas station was.
That's hilarious.
From that guy to getting here, that journey. Yeah. I don't know how I got here.
I told somebody the other day, I said, you know what? There was a time in my life that I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize the guy.
I didn't know him.
In a good way.
Yeah.
What God had done to change me, I did not recognize that guy in the mirror. But that's been, I hesitate to say, that's been far enough away now.
Yeah.
That.
But you've had enough repetition of walking with God
that now I look in the mirror and I don't recognize the guy I used to be.
That's good.
Right? He's done so well for me. What I'm talking about is this last.
No, I know what you mean.
6 years. This last 6 years,
he's made so much transformations
that I don't. When it first started happening, and I knew it was going on, I knew he had just dropped some bombs inside me. Psalms 23. That there was about 4 months in there. He just dropped bombs in there, and he was just really changing some stuff. And that's when I look in the mirror and go, I don't recognize that guy in the mirror, but I really like him.
Mm.
And now, it's far enough. I've grown. I don't know. Anyway,
you've had enough days.
Yeah, that I look back and I go, well, I don't recognize the guy I was before.
What a blessing.
That stuff.
Yeah. Nathan, you're
Sounds
going to be very interested in seeing who you touch on here. I am.
Yeah.
I get comments. Sometimes I get private messages, and if there's somebody that wants to get in touch with Nathan, he has a website. He's at 1122 all the time. Feel free to email him.
Yes, please.
And if you want to get involved in what he does, please dive in. There are so many different places that need help and need volunteers. Find one. It doesn't have to be this. Find one in your community, wherever town you're in, and get involved. Start reaching out to people, because I have found, man, I'm going to tell you, you want to get out of whininess, start helping others. You want to get out of bitching about what your problems are. Sit there and hand out food to somebody that is starving when I'm going and buying pretty white shoes. You know,
Listen, whenever we were doing homeless stuff on the street, I always came home
humbled.
because those guys would minister to me more. I would go out, you know, not arrogant in that, but, you know, it says when you've done at least of these, you've done it to me. So when I see that homeless, this is going to rock some of y'all. When I see that homeless person on the street, that's Jesus.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And when we walk by or we look at them condescendingly or have condescending thoughts, and I get it, they're making choices.
Yeah.
Right? Some of their choices that they made have got them in a bad spot that they can't get out of, but they're making choices. I get that. But, you know, that's Jesus.
Yeah.
And there were so many times we went out and I came back going, Lord, what just happened? Because this homeless guy who's drunk as it gets
Yep.
just preached to me, and you spoke to me. Literally, he would say, Matthew says this. He had been through David Wilkerson's school.
Wow.
He was ordained through David Wilkerson. I didn't know that at first.
Yep.
All I know is when we saw this guy, I just would come home completely humbled all the time. Or whether it was through what he said or the fact that these guys, you want to talk about being content in all things?
Absolutely.
Some of these guys were content. And I'm like, and I'm going home complaining because my 2020 car's not, AC's not really working like I wanted to.
Yeah. What do I have to complain about?
Really? Yeah. And so, you know, anything that we reach out and do, for me, I get more out of it than all the time. So, you know, if it's people volunteering with us, or there's plenty of great places in Clay County to volunteer.
But I want to say this. You're not going to say this. Do your freaking homework. Because quit donating to Goodwill. Donate to Salvation Army, because Goodwill is a for-profit company. Salvation Army takes men off the street and women, and they have a 3-story building here locally that they feed and house. And, you know, and that I donate. I'm not saying don't donate to other places, but do your homework. Make sure that money goes to the people. And I know this gentleman. I know the people that know him even better than myself. And it was an honor to have you on here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you. And to put a little light on your company. And so anytime you want to come back in, you got events coming in, it can become sit down 5-10 minutes, and then we'll put it up on the podcast.
Awesome.
Or we can put it up on the social media, your social media as well. So thank y'all for watching us. Share, like, do all that bull crap, okay? Or don't. Go find somebody else. We're going to keep reaching people. We want to thank Nathan Dowd for being here. We want to thank your company. We want to thank 1122. I want to thank Joby. It's changed my life. For men and women that stand in the gap like this young man, there's people that, like you said, that stand at the pulpit, and there's very few like Joby that really, in my opinion, y'all judge what you want. It's my opinion. There's very few people that really preach with the humbleness of that man.
And the confidence.
And the humble, confident, and a healthy fear. A respectful, not fear like that's afraid, but he understands what he's walking with and what he's walking into. And I think the results show. And I think yours does as well. I look forward to watching you grow.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you episode 33. Hit it, Dave.
Yeah, I learned to stay strong. Concrete in the dirt I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, you know it's game on. My skin is thick, yeah, it's tough. Running, yeah, we stay alive. Ain't gotta look nowhere else. All of this
So
greatness inside.